Got her. Just like that. Just like that. Every time. Hey, everybody. Is my door closed? Now that I'm yelling. Hey, everybody. Welcome to TPK Roleplay's Tyranny of Dragons campaign. Where we always have a terrible time. It's never fun, ever. Never. Stop smiling. My party portrays lies by smiling. There's no fun here. Hey, speaking of Happy Pride Month. Do gay, be crimes as a shout out to the fun and tomfoolery that was had last night. It was great. Primal, I think you might be on the wrong stream for that. Well, to be fair, segueing into our recap, we are posing as cultists essentially at this point, or as with the cultists. So last time, what we had was overall a lot of character development, roleplay discussion. Key topics that I noted included Icarus's love interest, Icarus and Juno home life growing up, which actually there was a lot involved with that. So if you missed it, catch it on the YouTube for sure, because there's a lot of background happening with those two that's really fun and interesting to be involved with and see blossom. We also had Ulta and Aster interacting more with Sunrunner, the tiny dragon that we have, and figuring out a little bit of communication attempts with him, including but not limited to basically trying to get him to fly. And aside from that, we had a little more discussion about Ulta's shadow and the mystery of why it doesn't exist. And then there was a process you guys went through it for like marking Ulta for you guys, right? I'm going to pause my recap there. Can you help me at least recall what exactly that was for? Coming in hot. You can't hear Ulta. Give me 1 second. No, for some reason a bunch of my stuff reset. You guys can hear me. That's good.
What about us?
There we go. Okay, sorry
what
guys.
About us?
Good thing it was only at the beginning of other people talking. Okay, so Ulta's mark. What was that, Chrissy?
Okay, so Ulta's thinking is she's paranoid of a couple things. She believes that Purple Angie and the other one might have like accessed or stolen something, like some sort of identifiable something. So like think like doppelganger, I guess, maybe.
Okay.
So she was marking herself so that her team could identify her in the off chance Purple Angie and his friends, her friends, their friends, I don't remember their gender. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna go back to eating gushers. Can I just do this?
Chat's ready to throw hands. What else is new?
Security question?
Yeah, we also set up security questions and two-factor authentication and stuff.
I already forgot what they all were, so.
Correct.
Then they're working. Okay, so
I did not write any of them down.
So you're going for a sort of, just in case, we can identify the real you, or the you that's here, whatever that may end up being, right?
Well, that was fucking ominous, but yeah.
I gotta keep it ominous. I can't give something away. Anywho, moving right along.
Okay.
So with all those conversations came a little bit more time on our projects, which at some point today we're going to reach, I think, at least a couple of our first completed projects. So that'll be exciting. Later we arrive at Baldur's Gate. And go through what I think Nifford described as a traumatic TSA experience, or something to that effect. They were mean.
Most traumatizing TSA
Yep,
experience.
and you guys essentially made the choice, which led to outcomes, that you were going to accompany your own cargo transport through the city to the outport known as Blackgate, which you can see on the screen right now, on the other side of the city. And you eventually do end up meeting with the contact that you've been told about to this point, Akin Celaban. So with that, and a little bit more of a group arriving after you at a sort of meeting place where you've ended up, we're finding that the information you've gotten at least to this point has been fruitful so far. So, oh, did that already? Yep, also in line with information we've gotten from other cultists that we overpowered along the way. So you were told by Anthar Froome to, or at least that group, to meet this contact here. And the cultists that you overtook on your way in, or on your way here, about halfway here, told you about meeting at Blackgate with other groups. So everything is sort of lining up as you've been told to this point. And then we finished up with a little bit more role-playing, figuring out Sunrunner, interacting with each other. So we've gone into a long rest. So what are you guys... What would you like to do at this point? Do we want to just do the long rest and get to the morning, or is there anything you want to do or discuss before that?
Ulta has nothing. She's fine with just long resting and going.
Aster was tired. She had a level of exhaustion still. She's just like lays down, falls asleep immediately.
Yeah, I think
For
we're
now, the sail both don't remember what the plan was, so sleep. Oh, yeah.
Yep, that happened.
Triple spoon?
Triple spoon.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
Nice.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm little spoon.
Juno and Icarus, over your time, Icarus trancing, Juno... Oh, wait, you're trancing as well, right?
Yeah, we're just
You're
chilling.
both
We're
on.
just kind of like, if we get robbed and mugged this night, whoops. Like,
well, spoiler alert, none of that happens.
Yeah,
it's a pretty
it
quiet
felt
night.
safe.
It's a pretty quiet night, other than the probably expected bustle of other people around and still within the city. Of course, it's a humongous city, and being a trade through in more ways than one. At least people who have seen and heard about cities before would expect that there is something of a nightlife there. It never really dies down. Sometimes changes faces between night and day, but noise is expected. Nothing really seems out of place. During your trances, Icarus and Juno, you do experience a little bit of a scratching sensation along your shoulders, where tattoos had appeared several days earlier. And when you wake up, you find that they've taken a little bit more filling, a little bit more detail from what they originally were. You now
Need some
each
lotion.
have a common spell rot tattoo.
Common spell rot. Oh.
I'm so excited for you.
So, that's like attuned already, right? So
Yes.
do we know what spell it is, or is it just up for grabs? I
That
don't
is
know
up for
exactly.
grabs.
Uh-oh.
I don't believe you have to pick a spell right away, do you?
I don't know.
Oh yes,
No.
yes, it's spell. Yep. But you just get to pick it.
Any
Okay.
spell? We should talk
Contains
about
a
this.
single spell up to 5th level.
Yep, ours are cantrip in 1st level if this is just common.
You know, I didn't realize until literally just now, even though I've read it several times, it doesn't specify like anything about, does it have to be a spell you already know? Do you just get to pick any spell that exists?
I would like disintegrate. That's not a 1st level
It's not a
spell.
first level spell.
Not
Damn.
even close.
Dang. Okay, let's make a call. I'm
But
gonna
if
say
we
it.
wanted to, on a break, we could go through some spells and see if we want to do some, like, twin shit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's figure that out on a break. Because I don't want to necessarily rule something right now without. Dang.
And I
I'm
also
sorry, I didn't
don't want
realize how
stream
broad
to
that
have to
was.
watch us go through, like, every spell at 1st level.
Okay. So you have those tattoos at this point. And thanks to a donation from someone in a previous stream, I forget exactly who it was because we've been.
Thank you,
so
Saito.
we've been through. Was it Mr. Saito?
Yeah, Mr. Saito.
Okay, so because there's been so much role playing and interacting with people and like not really having battles and dungeon crawls and stuff like that, and therefore not very many checks and attacks and things like that, we kind of stockpiled a bunch of advantages, disadvantages, etc. But we did get a magical item. So Icarus, you will find upon waking up in your pack an amulet that has a few lines etched in it and a closed eyelid. You now have an amulet of protection against detection and location.
Nice.
Wicked awesome, bro. That's my new Icarus voice.
Well then.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right, so we get to morning, and the scene outside of okay, so this greened area is essentially the block that you are within. It's a series of small buildings that range from just like a couple of rooms, which is one that you're in right now, to larger sort of common areas. And they're all within the area that Akin told you to stay within until it was time to go. And as you're waking up, you can already hear the expected bustle of like hitching horses, getting last bits of load on carts, wood on wood clanging, all that, people talking with each other, all of that with this tone of hurrying up and leaving. And Akin's going to be knocking at your door as I change the music here. Anything you're doing before?
Ulta would have made sure little dragon buddy was safely stowed away in bag.
Okay.
With appropriate breathing room.
Yep, just doing the same general care to Seymore. Ensure he's all good.
For anybody who hasn't caught it, Seymore is a tiny dancing plant
And Groot?
who is now residing in the tip of Aster's staff. However, Aster, you would notice that he's getting a little bigger.
Oh God, he's growing. He's gonna get legs soon. He's just gonna walk. Oh my God, I'm not ready
he's
for
gonna
this, you
wander
guys. What,
away.
what have we
Grow up
done?
so fast.
Oh no. It's gonna be so
Okay.
good.
Aster will take a note of that for later. Yeah. Cool.
He still fits.
Okay.
You're still okay for now, but he's growing a little bit. Get a little extra tuft on the side of his head. Tuft of
They
leaves.
grow
Oh my
up
God,
so
what if
fast.
he grows flowers, guys? Oh, that would make me very happy. Guys, do you think he's a late bloomer?
Aw.
It is summertime.
I like that. Heck, I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
I just really liked how much you enjoyed it.
Oh.
Also
I
that.
didn't think it was that good, but okay.
I guess before we take off, I'll just hold up this amulet, pull out this amulet out of my bag, and I'll be like, so I found this, and being the smart wizard I am, I know it protects against like evil and detection and like stuff like that. And I just figured maybe someone could use it better than me. Like if no one wants it, I could put it on. But is anyone running or hiding?
I mean, if there's some method that they are tracking Ulta
Yeah,
with,
would
maybe
that
having less
cancel it
eyes on her would be very good. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, would it cancel it out?
I'm not that wizardy. I don't know all the answers.
Are we one way to find
I'm
out?
that wizardry. Would it cancel it out? DM.
I'm sorry.
DM. Would that amulet cancel out anything that they're using to track Alta?
Anything might not be the case, but anybody can try to attune to it to figure out details.
I mean, I could bite the bullet, attune to it, and then tell you guys what it does, and then we can decide who's the best for it. I think I do have the
Anybody
most hit
who is able
points.
to identify would also be able to figure out without attuning. Does anybody have identify?
I might. I am a wizard.
Let me check my spell list. I'm a bard. No, I don't have it. I'm pretty
I'd be
sure.
surprised if you did. Yeah.
I think they might be able to take it, but I'm
Yeah,
pretty
you
sure
can,
I'm not
but
that
it's a
kind of
known
bard.
Spell. It's like if you dedicated a known spell to that, I'd be a little
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be my tattoo.
Not that kind of bard. Oh my god, you could though.
Tattoo of knowing
could.
things.
I don't have identify. I am a sav wizard.
Yeah. I guess you could just go ahead and attune to it. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with it. I doubt it.
Yeah, I'll keep you all updated then.
All right.
I took it in too, so it doesn't look like I'm wearing anything, like super. I'm not a normal grunt-y,
That help, sort of. Okay. Okay, so Akin comes knocking at the door.
Oh, I want to spend just like a little bit of time geeking out over my cool wife's cool tattoo.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Rewind.
And then that's it. We
okay.
don't need to RP that out. I just want it noted. It's
Okay.
important.
I'd like to draw a mustache on the Moonweaver in her tattoo.
I will smack your hand away.
Yep.
Like when she's not noticing.
How am I not
Okay,
gonna
when
notice
am I
you
not
lowering
gonna
on my
notice
back?
either? There are two sets of eyes watching what you're going to do at all times.
I'll go for like that pat on the back
At
and then
least.
just like.
Just gonna slap a mustache on.
Okay, it probably won't work. Fine, I'll let this one go.
I mean, you're welcome to try. However, we will both fight you for it.
All right.
See, Aster would just see
Anyways.
it anyway with like a 27 passive perception and just
true.
not say anything.
Shifty-eyed. All right. Akin comes knocking at the door for real this time.
Okay. Hi.
Nobody's home.
Hey guys, time to go there, eh?
Yes, he's back. I did not forget. It was this conversation on this stream that inspired who I became on Harper's.
Nice.
I figured. Okay.
I'm happy to provide such inspiration.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go.
They're
anyone else
moving
have
pretty
anything?
quick. I think you're supposed to be in the middle.
5 more
Ooh.
minutes, Mom.
I will pick you up.
Man, you are
Yeah, I'm
so
ready.
lucky you don't have bra straps, otherwise I would have just come, pulled from the center of the back, and just whapped.
Bold of you to assume your Chris does not have bra straps.
Yeah, I'm like,
I know.
He's got like a training bra, but like fake muscles,
Yeah, fake pecs.
Yeah, fake. Yeah.
Uh-huh. How long do
Anyway,
I let this
think
go?
we should probably
Okay,
hurry
we're-
before
alright.
they
Yeah,
get too
we're
far.
Yeah,
moving.
let's go.
Aster, what were you saying?
We should just probably hurry before they get too far.
Okay. So he's gonna sort of wave you out and lead you to 3 carts that are kind of pretty much stuffed to the brim like the 2 you came in on. It seems like everybody around you that's going to carts is in this sort of state of not confusion, but just like casually confirming by looking around at others. Like, is that one mine? Oh, that one's you. Okay, who's with me? Am I with you? That sort of thing. But for the most part, you are being left alone outside of Akin's instruction.
All right,
we-
let's go to our cart.
Yeah. Are we driving these carts or is somebody with us driving them? We're expected to like drive them, right?
Are you asking him that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of on your own with the carts there, but you just got to make sure to follow these guys. And he sort of tries to hide, pointing to 2 pairs in front of you, just with the 2 carts directly in front of you, and nothing's really all that distinct about them, other than you would notice, Aster, with your insane passive perception, that there's a small nick mark on the back left side of each cart. And you'd see that as these 4 people, I guess, are passing by their 2 carts, they're sort of glancing at that spot and then hopping in.
Do our carts have the same mark or no?
If you go look, you'd find that they do.
Okay. Good to know. Once we're like a little further away from a earshot of the other people, Aster will definitely pass that information along to the rest of the group. Say, yeah, I think this is some type of like signal or something that these cards belong to them. So this is definitely something we should be looking for in the future.
It's good to know. Do we think that our cards will eventually need markings on them, or are we just gonna leave them like no bumper stickers, no markings?
I mean, depending on what we want to present, I suppose.
I suppose we should learn more about them to see if they signify rank or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool to also just, boost ourselves in the ranks simply by marking a cart.
Yeah, that's something that we could do.
Yeah, let's figure out what those ranks mean though, because we don't want to like accidentally be like, oh, we're the navigators now with this many marks,
I mean,
That
I
would
could probably
be-
play the part.
Unfortunate.
I mean, do we know the way to Waterdeep?
I have a feeling
That's where
that
we're going, right?
if we stay like grunts level, it's some blissful ignorance maybe.
Yeah.
But do we want to stay blissfully ignorant, or do we want to know what's going on?
Maybe we could have a plan prepared for when we get there, but maybe not for like travels, because I feel like it's not a good time to seem like someone we're not.
Yeah, for now, we're
More
just
than we are.
in the middle, I guess. That's where we're expected. So let's just see what happens. Huh?
All right. I will climb aboard the cart that I had been driving to begin with.
Eliseo, as smart as like I am, do you think you could maybe figure out what like the different markings mean, like decipher it, like almost like just by like looking and like figuring, like looking at the different ones and like figuring it out, you know?
I will do my best.
Yeah.
Cool. It's the car. Oh,
My
what a
best
good
is not
cat.
that good.
Hyacinth, you looked mortified for a second. It's okay, bud.
I
I
panic.
understand.
Yeah,
She's
you're
just-
okay.
I want to be professional.
You're
It's all
right.
good.
You can't help it. Yeah.
What about any of this says we're professional?
Yeah, I'm like,
hello.
Remember back to the
She's-
beginning of the stream?
At least she's sitting behind it now. She's like peeking over the edge, like.
Aww.
Nice.
Very
All
good.
right.
We love new cats.
So, at this point, you can see that you are part of and within a rather large caravan. Looking in front of and behind you, you'd be able to count at least a couple dozen horse-drawn carts. And the people that you can see around you are all dressed very similarly to you with your black robes. If you hadn't seen them before, I'll reiterate, they wouldn't look all too different from pretty typical traveling robes. But you guys do know, having experienced groups of people from the cult wearing these ones in particular, it's easy enough to surmise that you're all part of the same group. So, you're officially off toward Waterdeep. In the campaign, this is a several month slog. We're gonna skip/fast forward a lot of that because several reasons. One of which is you guys have already been doing a ton of travel. So we're gonna whip out our projects and do a little bit of fast forwarding through figuring out what's going on with our custom crafts and training activities. While I find your map, where did it go? Hello? There we are.
Hello?
Map, please?
Mr. Obama? Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're
it's
not.
a reflex. I don't even try anymore.
Hello?
Oh, man.
I should have muted. I'm so sorry.
Oh, man. All right. So, for let's say the first couple days, weeks, we're going to have arts and crafts time. So, you guys have been working on several projects. There's been spells, songs that essentially operate as spells, couple of magical items / non-magical items, and physical training. So, does anybody want to go first, or should we just kind of go down the line and figure out where you guys are at? 1, 2, 3, down the line.
Down the line's
Okay.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like just going in overlay order might be the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
Let's do
Okay.
that.
Let's do that. So, Heck, where are you at with your attempts and successes at your first project?
Okay, so my current project, I am at 6 successes and 44 skill points.
Okay. So we're going to have you roll 10 more. Or, I shouldn't say roll 10 more because I don't want to force you to take attempts at finishing a project if you just want to be working at the skill. So you have 10 opportunities. So that's up to 10 skill points at least from just working on it. And then if
Okay.
you want to make rolls, you can roll up to 10 times toward adding the skill points and potentially achieving the successful completion of your roper tooth necklace project, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, let's just do like a couple rolls and see what happens, and then if the dice gods hate me today, we'll just do skill points. I feel like that's gonna be the best way to do it. Plus, my first one has disadvantage thanks to Tony.
Ooh.
So, unless I can make some type of observation check first before. Dude, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Oh my gosh, what skill were we using for this again? I don't remember. Because we talked about using wisdom instead of arcana because spellcasting mods and stuff, but I do not remember which one we wanted to do.
Right. Looking at this, we are, well, at this point, let's keep it simple instead of or simple for now. Since you're at the tail end of this first project, you've been physically putting together this necklace, but the latter half would be actually imbuing it with the magical effects that you're going for.
Okay.
So we are going to make it arcana for this last leg.
Okay. This is gonna be great, guys. I have +2. Okay. Alright, well, first one, disadvantage. We're just gonna get this out of the way.
What is you're at
Okay.
level 5, yeah?
Wait, what?
Your character level.
Yes, we are at 5.
Okay, so the DC for this is 10 minus your full caster level, which is 5, plus the tier value of the item that you are creating, and that is uncommon. So that's going to be 6. You're going for 11s or better.
I was 1 off.
Oh no.
I rolled a 10. Tony, you did this. How dare you? I was so close. I rolled a 10 and a 17.
Ooh,
I am
that was a
so
disadvantage. Rip.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, also, why is it letting me, or not letting me edit again? Hold on. It's being weird.
Okay, and
Okay, you know what? I'll do the spreadsheet later. I'll just count it on paper and.
sure.
that
And
later.
so while you're working on those rolls, I'm going to start talking with the next person. So I'll try to
Sure.
save a little time by overlapping
Oh, sure.
people rolling and stuff.
Down.
So Eliseo, your project right now is the
Spellcrafting.
and what's the I pronounce the word for me, please. The spell we ended up on for your first one, your level 2.
See, I was hoping you would pronounce it first because I've only ever read it, so I don't know how it's
Okay,
pronounced
awesome.
either.
I'm gonna give that a go.
So 1, 2, 3, and we both try and say it.
Uh-oh. Yeah, there it is.
I'm pretty sure it's daguerreotype. But it is so for
Yeah.
outside spellcrafting. I don't know what the explanation for it is in world, but meta knowledge, that was one of the first forms of photographs. And so I
Yes.
kind of was writing this spell with the idea of like, what if there is a way to just like group paralyze somebody in a range? And it's kind of like, you know, associated with light because of my spouse and their sibling. And so flash photography and daguerreotype or something.
Yes. Okay, so you're at 44 skill points and 6 check successes, which is Arcana. Is that correct?
No,
That's what's
not
on the
that I have.
spreadsheet. Oh, I'm looking at Aster.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
like, no. You're looking at Aster.
38 skill points, 20 successes.
successes.
Okay. So you're looking at 10 opportunities at this point. So that's 10 guaranteed skill points. And then again, when you roll, you count the successes and failures, but then successes also add a second skill point.
Mm-hmm.
For Aster and Eliseo,
Yes.
when you reach 30 successes for this project, it will be complete.
Woo!
Okay, so you can go ahead and work on your... Oh, and you need that before 15 failures. If you
I'll
have
take those
15
odds.
failures, we gotta talk
So-
about some stuff.
So I roll for skill check successes right now.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you hit 50 skill points is when the number of successes you need and or the rarity of the items you can create become easier to complete.
Nice.
Okay. So we got 2 going now. Are you good, LSA, or do we need to clarify anything more before I go to Icarus?
What's my DC?
You're going for a level 2 spell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 10 minus 5 plus 2, 7.
My DC is 7,
Yes.
and it's an Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
I physically cannot. I have a +7.
Well, there you go.
Mod.
So you get 10 successes.
Sweet.
Okay.
Well, then I'm at
Icarus.
30.
All right, you now have that spell on your spell list.
Ah! And then 10 skill points.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're keeping track of our totals because, again, as you accumulate skill points, everything else becomes a lot easier to do. All right,
Oh,
Icarus.
I could check for crits. I'm gonna roll for crits just in case.
Icarus, you're working
Okay.
on a song, yes?
Yes. So, I feel like I was so close to finishing a song, but I feel like the more present one for my character is the nondescript love song.
Okay.
So,
And what was the effect that you were going for that song?
you know, I don't think I decided that at the time, and I forgot that I didn't. So maybe I should just finish the other one. Yeah, let's finish the other one. So I'll go for the Hymn of Rejuvenation just because I know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
And that one was supposed to be like a smaller heal, but a heal over time I cast on someone. So like
Mhm.
either like proficiency bonus or my spell mod per round. So
We're gonna make it your spell modifier per round,
okay,
and it is a concentration.
okay, and I assumed like a minute.
Yes.
Missy, be careful. I think everyone just saw that. I don't know. She just knocked something off a shelf and fell with it. It was very concerning for a moment because there was
Okay.
3 heavy books.
So you have the same 10 opportunities. 30 successes before 15 failures will allow you to complete the spell. And then each roll, again, any success adds to your total skill points just as much as the attempt does.
Okay, how many successes did you say that was?
You need 30 before 15 failures.
30? Okay. So, and we were doing persuasion, right? Or performance, right?
Performance for you, yes.
Okay, and I can do 10?
Up to 10.
Okay.
So you have 10 opportunities for sure, so you have 10 guaranteed skill points. And then you can use any number of those 10 as rolls for success versus failure.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll 10 performance checks then.
Okay.
3.
While you're doing that, Juno, you working on your fitness, right?
I'm working on my fitness.
And if I'm recalling correctly, last time we checked, we were just working on fitness. We didn't have anything specific in mind. Is that still the case?
What we had specific in mind was finesse with the Warhammer.
That's the third time I've forgotten that today. I'm very sorry. That's
Sorry
why
for the sass of today there. I was no, I finally have a project, Dad.
I'm giving it to myself too, because it's terrible. But that is why I have such wonderful people. You guys help me remember stuff. So same deal. In order to gain finesse, gain the finesse property essentially with your Warhammer, 30 successes before 15 failures. And because of the nature that you're going for, you can do dexterity or strength checks and alternate between them if you want to, or just choose one or the other.
Probably dex checks.
Okay. And Ulta, you're working on a big shield, right? Stackable, or what are we calling it?
Standing shield.
Standing shield.
That's what I call it. I have never. So we started tracking points before I got access to the spreadsheet. So I don't know how many successes or anything that I have.
Did you have them noted anywhere before this?
Yeah, but it's not accessible currently.
Would you be okay with starting from the average of what everyone had before today, and then going from there?
At 0. I'm okay with that.
I know you started, so I don't want to start you at 0.
Okay, sure. Yeah, average is fine.
What were you guys at about with your individual projects with total skill points, successes, and failures before today?
For me at least, 44 skill points, 6 successes, and 3 failures. Now I'm at 13 successes.
Okay.
I had 38 the first one, skill points, and then successes were 20. I crit for one of them. We used to have that mean double. Is that still true?
Yes.
Okay.
Question about my rolls. Since everyone else has a bit of proficiency involved in theirs, can I just swing my Warhammer a bunch of times and have that be how I do this? Because that'll be proficiency plus strength.
Oh, you mean like attack rolls?
Yeah.
I think a reasonable case can be made for that. You're like actually practicing with it. So
Yep.
Let's do that.
Don't mind chat, everyone. I'm just gonna blow it up with some swings.
What was my DC to pass?
The spell
successes.
level you're going for, we said was 2, was it not?
I don't think we put a label on it, but it could
Okay.
be, yeah.
I'm going to say it's 2 then.
Okay.
That means 7.
7 is my thing?
Yes.
Perfect. I can't fail. That's 10 successes.
Awesome.
And then 10 successes, and do I add points as well?
You're gonna add one for all, so 10 total plus 1 for each success that you got. So if I'm getting these numbers right, it sounds like we were at about like 36, 38 skill points to start. And then somewhere in the area of like 8, 10 successes, 3-ish failures across the board. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ulta, let's start there for you then, if that's okay.
Sure.
And that'll be before you do your 10.
Okie doke. And I don't remember what we were rolling for this. I want to say it was Was it survival?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make a note to write that down on the.
I'm gonna write it underneath where it says current project.
Yeah, if you guys could put it all on your current project, what you were rolling for these, that would be super helpful.
Oh yeah, that's
The
a
joys
great
of creating
idea.
custom mechanics.
That is a
All
great
you did.
idea. Rolling Arcana.
Boop, boop, boop.
Womp womp.
Okay, has anybody hit a completed project after those 10?
I have 31 successes.
I'm at 23 out of 50, right? So no.
I don't
30.
know what
Th-
my DC was for mine. I just realized.
Let's look at that. $12.
What was my DC?
Yours with attack rolls was going to be. What's your strength modifier or dexterity modifier? Either one.
My dex modifier is 3, and my strength is 2.
Okay, so we'll take the better of the two. Then we're adding 5 to that. Yours is also 12.
Okay, poopy.
So, completed project is going to be 30 successes. So, LSA, you've got 31. You have your completed second level spell and 1 success now toward your next project. You are muted.
Sweet. I might voluntarily push that up to 3rd level, and probably that would need more successes.
Yes.
Because part of it was slow, and slow is a 3rd level spell, so I would feel weird having slow be a result of a 2nd level spell. You know?
Yes. However, I essentially added that as a failure condition of the spell you were going for, and the area of effect is way, way, way smaller than the actual
Okay.
slow spell.
Okay.
So if you do want to make, if you could make it better you could make it a better spell by continuing to craft it up to 3rd level. You'll just have to go to 40 instead of 30.
No, the range makes sense now. That makes sense. Yeah. I see that.
Okay.
I'm good with it being here now.
Okay.
I have finished typing it all out and stuff.
Can you also remind me how you add skill points in?
So,
I don't think I understand the question.
so skill points you get as like a default, and then you can make a roll to see if you get skill check successes beyond that, right?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. So the skill points are like anytime you're even working at the project at all. Even if it's just like research on how to make the structure or checking out materials to see if they might work, and not risking any success versus failure on crafting the project itself. That's how we're sort of role-playing out, gaining more skill points. And then rolling is for like actually putting another component together, putting the next thing on, banding a set of materials together for your project Ulta. So that's where the success versus failure is going to come into play. And like 15 failures means like you botched it a little too much and it cracks in half. You kind of have to start over, sort of thing. But then each success is, we're counting that as like an extra. It's double toward the skill point add-on that just trying to research would give you. Does that make sense? Awesome.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So we have 1 completed spell. Niffer, not to put you on the spot, if you did want to sort of keep it under wraps until using it, but do you want to explain?
Oh, I'm like already sending it to the Discord of like, look what I made, guys. So.
Okay, so for our lovely fans, this is, for me, this is a first completed project on custom crafting mechanics that we've put together. So
Yeah.
if you don't mind, would you share for our audience what you've done, what you've created?
This is the first homebrew spell I've ever made too, so this is very exciting. I did go check with the internet. It's pronounced daguerreotype, so that's what it is, y'all. It is a blinding flash, captures all creatures within 10 feet of a point within range. They make a constitution saving throw. On a failure, they are paralyzed for their duration. On a successful save, affected creatures are slowed, and all of the usual conditions of slow are listed. So it was kind of, Eliseo's thought was just like, oh, I really like eclipses because my wife really likes the moon and stuff, and I like the idea of like, oh, light having an effect on freezing people, and I want more battlefield control, so yeah.
Also time magic.
Time magic. Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's going to be really cool.
I'm so excited to throw it out on people.
Okay, has anybody else completed a project after those 10 opportunities, or we just kind of creeping up on finishing?
Oh, I'm nowhere near.
Okay.
So wait.
I'm almost halfway there.
With these skill points, what do they do? Like, how do we add them in? Like, do I just get to roll now with these additional skill points that I'm saving up, or do they just exist?
So I'll give a short explanation for stream, but then I'll redirect you guys to the pinned messages in our chat, because I have the 3 Word documents in there. It is a little lengthy at first, apologies, as is D&D
I also
5th
like
edition.
went Hot Mess Express route and did not make this easy for us.
It's all good. So
Not going off the book.
the skill points are essentially going to get you guys to different tiers of mastery, and they just constantly accumulate. You never really lose skill points.
Okay.
So every even just attempt at, like I said before, research, or like reading a book or studying under someone else who's a master of your craft, that sort of thing. Every hour you spend, or in this case, since we're fast forwarding, we're just kind of clumping a bunch together, adds to that skill point pool. And then the higher tier you get, which I believe it starts at 50, and then they sort of slowly increase. You gain a increased level of mastery, which is kind of comparable to proficiency. And every level of mastery will like guarantee that you can do much easier things wholesale. You don't even have to like try with checks to see if you're successful. And then the success rate for increasingly difficult items or activities becomes easier.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
When everyone else started crafting, I turned my brain off because I was like, I'm just gonna work out a bunch and drive the cart while everyone crafts. And then we discovered I could craft my body instead, and that felt like a great direction to go. But then my brain had not consumed.
We
the
do
knowledge.
have equally cool ideas on the table for what you might be doing with that as well. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great. All right. So after and within all of that, is there anything you guys want to be discussing? I know that it might sound a little open-ended, but I want to make sure I didn't just bulldoze through your opportunity here, since it's massive. Here are the things we know for sure. You are now transporting stolen cargo, as far as you're concerned. You know it has come from several different places across the continent, at least to the south and east of you. You know you're going north, at least to Waterdeep. You know nobody else that's in this humongous caravan of dozens of carts along with you. Is there anything that you guys want to be discussing, planning, plotting along the way?
Aster will actually, at some point, since we'll be taking enough long rests to change out my spells anyway, cast Animal Messenger at some point, and send a little animal friend to go over to Rydoth and just kind of relay just like little bits and pieces of what we've seen. It's kind of the same, like I think it's the same word constraints as sending. I think it's 25 words. I can look it up in a second.
Okay.
But yeah, just talking about like stolen cargo was taken to Baldur's Gate. On our way to Waterdeep now. And we met our contact in Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
The contact, I guess. But yeah. At that point, yeah, she'll do that kind of thing just to like kind of have some type of communication with the Emerald Enclave and just kind of like let people know what's going on, what we're doing. But also something that she would like to do, probably at one day at some point during this journey, she will look over to Seymore, that is, just sitting on her quarterstaff. And she's just gonna hold one hand out and just kind of like boop him on the nose, or like where his nose would be, and cast Speak with Plants.
You can do that?
I can do that. It's a 3rd level spell.
Yes.
I can
Hell
speak
yeah.
with plants.
Speak
were-
with plants.
You were not prepared to voice a plant today, were you?
Nope. But you know what? Such is the life of being a DM. That is okay.
That's my one GM tip. Have plant and animal voices prepped,
Always.
because they will always talk to
Always.
the plants and animals.
Okay, take a page out of Cole's book. Hey guys.
Don't mind.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Please.
Okay.
This is little Seymore. Hey guys.
I mean, that's what I did to like a little plant in one of my previous campaigns. It was like this little, and then like I just like did the deepest possible voice that I could. I just give like a little boop and just say, "Hey Seymore, can you hear me now? Can you talk to me now?"
Hey. You talk my talk. I talk your talk.
Yeah, exactly. I talk your talk now.
He's gonna give this completely non-verbal but very familiar response of like throwing his branches out and just like giving this excited shake.
This is the first time I've ever done anything like this before. How's it going? How are you doing? Are you okay, like being like on this quarterstaff?
You put me on a stick and it feels funny.
Like an okay buddy, or is there like somewhere else you'd rather be?
Oh, it's when you do the things and you point it at people. It feels funny.
Oh yeah, it probably does. But other than that, like, are you having a good time?
Well, it's
Have you-
great.
have you-
Where-
yeah.
Where are we? Where are we going? I haven't seen Big Forest.
Yeah, we haven't really seen a lot of forest lately. We're on our way to Waterdeep, and believe me, it's just all of this like buildings and everything. The like big square things are called buildings.
No, the Stone Forest.
Yes, the stone. Yes, exactly. Yeah, they're just as strange to me as they probably are to you. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. But we're going up north. There might be more forests up there. But you were from a forest. Do you know where you were from?
Not really. The big
enough.
trees told me to go with the guy. Kind of looked like you.
The guy.
Yeah, he could. He was the last person that could talk to me.
Oh. What? Do you know what he looked like at all? Or
He had bush, like the big trees, and boy, a stick like this too.
okay. And like in her head, she's like, "Oh my god, right? I found this plant. Oh my god, potentially." She's connecting the dots. Also, bonk, Mr. Rogers, you suck. Sorry, I'm just gonna
Bonk.
call that out in straight Jesus. Yeah. So there were bigger trees.
He's just gonna like look up and just point straight up in the air.
Interesting. And they also had bushes on their face?
Yes. I think that means they're old.
And would Aster have any like inkling that of what treants are?
Yes, you can. So make a history or nature check, your choice,
Okay.
and we'll
I will
see
take
how
nature.
much you may or may not know depending on the result.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Natural 20.
Yes, treants immediately come to mind, and you haven't seen or experienced them before, but your people have certainly talked about them enough that the elders, at least around you, leaders and wise folk around you coming up, would have. You would expect that they've experienced treants for themselves. To the level of detail and the degree of awe that they talk about these creatures, you could swear that somebody you know has definitely experienced at least one before.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So trying not to be rude or anything. So are they like the adults of your kind, or are you a little different? Do you know?
I don't know. But when I left, they were starting to get sick.
Oh no.
They told me to
That's
go
not
with
good.
the man.
Oh no. Well, once we get the chance and can figure out where you've been, maybe we can help. I'd really like to do that. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, me too.
Well, do you have any questions for me?
Heck.
I don't know. Does the plan have any questions for me? I don't know.
Yeah, what's that? And he's pointing at Ulta.
Aster will stifle a little bit of a chuckle. Say, well, that she right over there is Ulta. She is a kobold, is what her people are called. And then that's Icarus and Juno, and they're elves, if you didn't know. And then there's Eliseo, which I don't think they are a human, but I don't really know what they are exactly. There's something going on there.
I've seen ones
best
like
description.
I've seen ones like them before. They're usually pretty nice. And he's pointing at Juno and Icarus. You call elf?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that one. He's like back to sort of fixating on Ulta a little bit. That one kind of looks like forest spirit.
What do you mean by that exactly?
Guardian? Spirit?
Huh.
She looks like him.
Interesting. That's really good to know. I didn't notice that before, but also, I think I'm from a smaller forest than where you're from. Yeah, I'm from the mountains mostly, but there are woods there, but mountains are really high up.
Oh, we like the mountains.
It's awesome. Yeah, and I really hope we can figure out where you're from. But, I don't know, when I hear about forests that are sick, it's usually a very bad thing. I hope we can help.
Me too.
Yeah, no. Good talk, Seymore. Are you okay with me calling you Seymore? Or do you have, a name that you were given beforehand?
Well, I've never had people name, so I think it's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, good to know. Good chat, Seymore.
Best part of the session right there. Can't beat
Plant
that.
talk,
Done.
plant
Campaign's
talk.
over. We nailed it.
Roll
it.
credits.
All right. Anything else?
I can't wait till we have a level 20 tree with us. I don't even care
Right.
about reaching
Oh
level
my
20. I
God.
just want to
we
visit him.
potentially have a treant with us, and I don't know how to feel.
We've learned so much from this plant alone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, just try to
This
unplug.
plant has had more plot than we have.
Sometimes it pays to talk to plants, I guess.
It do. Okay, so we're at a good point to take a short break, if that's cool with you guys, and then we'll come back into if anybody else had anything to discuss, plan, plot, anything along those lines. So we will be right back. It's all good. All right, we're back, everybody, and we are going through the sort of fast-forwarded version of traveling in the Tyranny of Dragons campaign northward from Baldur's Gate toward Waterdeep. There we are. So through this first leg of your journey, guys, you would have noticed through your crafting time, through your conversations with each other, through sending messages, that you passed through a large, almost flat and empty plain. Known as the Fields of Dead. And I'm just now realizing that this isn't actually... Oh, it is on the map. Yeah,
It is.
Okay. You'd been told about this or heard about it through some means to this point, I think including in an earlier session. And it's just a general reference to an area that has, over a very long period of time, experienced a lot of a mix of wandering souls as well. Well, I shouldn't say wandering souls in D&D. You might think it's actually souls. Wandering people, as well as armies trudging across the vast expanse of this land for one reason or another, usually involving some sort of conquest. You know generally that now this area is inhabited by basically a nomadic people. They don't really belong to cities. They don't really belong to known and established concentrations of inhabitant, basically cities and towns sort of thing. It doesn't really apply. And it's just this wide open rolling hills area. You do eventually go through this, along this coastway, you go through a small mountainous area. It's technically mountainous, but just barely. Obviously much more than the rolling hill structures that you would have seen to this point, but not the humongous mountain areas like the Sunset or what's way up north, the Spine of the World, which some of you at least would have heard of before. But it provided a little bit of cover for some time on your journey through the harsh sun and heat of summer. So, we're going to get to a point where we can do a sort of another round of your craft projects, this sort of fast-forwarded version. Again, for anybody checking in on the show, we don't want to completely skip the travel time involved with this campaign because it provides a lot of opportunity for our custom projects that we have on the table. But we don't also want to go day by day, hour by hour through months of travel. So I will say at the same time, there are several points across the journey that you experience, or you would see random people sort of approaching your caravans and talking to the people driving, the people in the carts, in front of you, sometimes behind you. You haven't been approached to this point, but you know you're among this caravan of dozens of carts. And sometimes...
As we're doing,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, as like outsiders approach, I'm gonna be dropping some eaves. I'll have my folks in the cart working on their crafts, but I'm gonna be sitting there driving it, just being like, yep, just get a good lean out.
Okay.
I'll whisper things to Aster as well, just because I know how perceptive Aster can be, and just kind of like knowing that she's on the other cart, being like, all right, You watch
Yeah,
the people
like,
behind,
what's
I'll
up?
watch the people in front of us.
All
Okay.
the vibe checks, all of that.
Of the vibe checks.
I want to see
Okay.
their like what their body language means and all of that.
Okay. Let's have you both then make, we'll say 5 each insight checks.
Okay.
Oh, hell yes. Thank you.
Okay. Actually, I'll let you roll first, and then I'll roll my other 4.
Are those
That's
supposed to
gonna
be
a
an
lot
advantage?
easier.
Yes, they are, because I am heckin' gifted.
Nice. Okay.
It's one of my racial traits. That as
Cool.
long as I can, like, see their mouths moving and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool.
I think it's, like, really suggesting for me to go the observant feat and really get gross
You
with
should
it.
absolutely
but-
do the observant feat. It's a great time.
Nothing gets by me.
Dang! Oh my god!
I'll hang out
The
with you at
lowest
level
I
8.
rolled was a 16, but geez,
Hell
you
yeah,
guys,
you did
22,
better than I did,
20,
and I had
21,
advantage.
and 23.
Yeah. Okay. So it's.
I love my nosy wife so much.
Okay. So across all of that, wow, damn. Okay. Okay, so both of you are able to surmise across several days and many instances. Well, I shouldn't say many. Across the first few weeks, really, just a small handful of instances, maybe 4 or 5. Occasionally, it's an individual person. Occasionally, it's like a small group, maybe 3 or 4 people. Never like a family. You never see kids. It's always adults. But in all cases, from what you can tell, it's people either asking for money or passage, basically hitchhiking.
Is it ever offered to them or no?
You definitely would have noticed that in some cases, after a brief stop and a verbal exchange between the people you could see and the carts, a couple of people hop on.
Okay.
So as far as you can tell, they've joined the caravan.
New cultist, new
And
cultist.
actually, with these rolls are insane. So I'll even add in that you could tell that the people driving the carts would have taken coins from the people requesting passage before they hopped on the carts.
Really shitty Uber rides.
I mean,
Hop on the cart at LAX. Get the
yeah, not even.
names of the other
Yeah, the AC
words.
was broken. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10, never ride again.
Oh my God.
Okay. So at one point you do get to another point in the road, I guess, where there's actually a small group of people at. I gotta move you to this intersection. Larger than your like 3 or 4 that I'd mentioned before, but like it looks like several. Imagine the D&D version of a bus stop, but it's hitchhikers in like an unmarked area where there's just like a small gathering of people generally trying to gain passage with whomever they can. And one particular person, Aster, you would notice that they're kind of like generally looking around as the whole caravan comes by, but they are not. They're like the only person in the group that's not trying to flag down anybody in front of you. But as you guys pass, this, you would know she's a gnome, sort of like double takes at you, and then gets a little wide-eyed and holds a hand out.
Okay.
With your stupid passive perception of 27.
Okay. Observant feet, my boy.
Yup.
Okay.
I don't mean
yeah,
stupid
okay.
like it's bad. I mean stupid like
I
it's
know.
way
I'm
good.
just me as a player. Anyway. Yeah, she'll just kind of point that out to the rest of the group. Is like, there's someone, I think, trying to stop us specifically. There have been the groups before that have, flag down others, but this person waited for us. Do we want to see what that's
You're
about?
talking as you're going, and you're kind of getting to the point where you're level with her, but you're still moving. The whole caravan's moving, and she's kind of like starting to walk along.
Heck, okay, I'm gonna stop whatever cart I'm driving, or like whatever. I'm just gonna do it. It's gonna be fine.
Do it.
So with this general sort of habit and activity among your entire caravan, you can see by this point, especially after days and weeks of travel, that there are some larger gaps between groups of carts. So your entire caravan now is not just like several hundred feet, because you were horse to cart from the start at the gate, but now there's like sometimes a couple even miles between this cart and the next, and maybe just a couple hundred feet between this cart and the next. You're still traveling generally in a caravan, so it's not like you're going to completely lose somebody in front of or behind you, but the overall activity of the caravan is just becoming a lot more spread out. So you pulling over isn't really out of the norm. But this gnome is going to approach you guys, and when you stop, she's going to sort of passage to Waterdeep, eh?
Perhaps. Yeah, Aster will just kind of give an eye to the rest of the group. Is there like any sort of recognition that could be possible with this person? Like any slightly hidden insignias of any kind, like organization, like anything like that? Just passing an eye over.
At first glance, no, but she's going to actually notice you checking her out and look back and forth a little bit. There's really nobody else all that close to you. And then she'll lean back in this clear sense of like looking a little more nonchalant and say, "You're with the network, right?"
Sure. Yeah.
Persuasion check.
Are we with the network?
I don't know. Aster is
What
not the
network
face
is
of the
this?
party.
I've never heard the term
sorry.
network before.
Yeah. Aster's not the face of the party, so yeah, that's 100% something she would say. It's not charismatic, guys.
All right, make
So
a persuasion
awkward.
check.
Okay.
Charisma is a dumb
She's
step.
not charismatic, you guys. Oh no. Oh, my
Aster is
God.
awkward.
Yeah, like that's how I play. Okay, 17
Oh,
is not
heck.
bad though.
Nice. Okay, she's gonna give you like this look and then hops on your cart. Just saw the comment from Primal in Purple. She's gonna like carefully hop on, and so who's on the two carts? I never asked when we
who's in
set
my
sail
van?
here. Who's with Aster? Who's in the other cart? Who's driving? Who's not? What's
There's
the general...
two, right?
3 carts
'Cause-
actually.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
I can't drive, so
Yeah, I was like, well,
I was with Aster.
I'm still in training.
so,
Okay, so I have Ulta in my van. Anyone else?
no, we
Nope.
we
Okay,
have to
cool.
be driving the other cart.
There's a
So
total
we
of
have
3.
3 carts.
Yeah.
So that means we've got
if Icarus
Aster.
can't drive, then Juno and Elsa are driving the other 2. Who has Icarus in their cart?
It's probably me.
Whose turn
secretly-
is it to watch Icarus?
We're secretly gossiping about like all the different people that are in this group and how loud they snore at their other tents and stuff each night, and we're just talking a whole bunch of shit as we continue up this road because we're elves and we're better than everyone. Just ask our gods. Our gods are kind of assholes according to the lore.
I'm not.
I think they're the best.
I'm not trying to start a fight or anything, but
No, we're just whispering, talking shit.
okay, great.
And it's not about our party. We love our party and think they're very capable. It's definitely like the one guy who broke his axle a couple days ago. Yeah, don't care for him.
Okay. So Aster was, Ulta was with you, right? If I got that straight. All right, so she's going to like hop on the passenger side of your cart. Heck, as you said yes, we're part of the network, and like still hanging over the edge, she's going to look at you and then like lean in to check out inside the cart. And Ulta, you'll see this very small person. You know what a gnome is. Gnomes and halflings, you're aware. So you'll see this gnome pop her head in, and it's like the first non-human other than the raiding party that you've seen to this point. And as this person looks in, she's going to get super wide-eyed. Like Aster and Ulta, she's been clearly trying to be very nonchalant, and then obviously like something clicks, and she just hops in the passenger side, kicks up her feet, and just starts chatting with you. So how long you guys been on the road, eh?
That's a great question. A couple months, right?
Ulta is just uncomfortably watching. No words, really. Just very confused.
I didn't expect you to be so quiet. Is it true then? They say you fought him.
Oh no.
Oh, but
Yeah.
giant lizard man.
Oh yeah.
You fought him?
Yeah. I mean, he mostly fought me, and I did a lot of getting hurt.
Wouldn't say it would have been a fair fight in the first place, but here you are.
Yeah.
Gotta say I commend it.
You're right. Oh, thanks, you. What's your name?
Jamna.
Jammer?
Jamna. Jamna.
J-A-M. Okay.
And she's clearly super relaxed and a lot more nonchalant now. And as she's talking, she's still got her feet kicked up on the, I don't know what the term is for it, but the basically the brace. Like if you have a seat on a cart and then there's the brace in front of you, like
It's
a
the
small
dash. It's
the
just
dash.
the dash.
Yeah, the dash.
Just like a regular car.
Yeah, so she's got her feet kicked up on the dash, and she like whips out a small dagger and just starts flipping it. So how much
Question.
they tell you? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Did we see, if we were in like the cart either ahead or behind, did I see, doesn't need to be a royal we, did I see this gnome pop in there?
Yeah, easily enough.
Okay.
At least your three carts, I assume, are sticking together
Yeah.
enough
So-
that you'd be able to see what's going on.
So then I am going to cast a spell to eavesdrop on this conversation just for
Ooh.
10 minutes, but I'm going to cast clairvoyance, and I'm going to cast it on Ulta's shield so that way I can listen to what's happening in the cart for the next 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm just going to sit there and listen.
So in all fairness, would you have done that like at the beginning when she hopped in, or like after a
Yeah.
little bit of time? Okay. So you've heard all of that to this point. Aster and Ulta, this person is flipping a little dagger up in her hands, just talking with you and like shooting the breeze, and then eventually goes, so how much we know about this, eh? And points back toward the back of the cart, clearly pointing at the cargo.
Can I ask who you're with?
The network.
Yeah, I heard that. I meant like which part? Could even just give like
You don't know what I
initials.
meant, did you?
I have a head injury. I'm sorry. I it was the first thing that came into my head, and then I was realizing like Ulta is a terrible fucking liar.
That's perfect. That's so perfect.
We have the two most awkward people in the
No,
frame.
oh my god, make a deception check.
This NPC, and it makes
Shut
me so
up.
happy. This is everything.
Oh my
Yes!
god.
Yes!
Why are we getting so
Jesus
good at this?
Christ.
I've been training you guys.
You guys, we finally got good at Dungeons and Dragons. We did it.
I have
We won.
a head
For now.
injury. I'm sorry. I need a second. That was too good. Oh, I'm sweating.
Oh,
Okay. 17. Okay. Fucking hell. I'm sorry, that
Thank
got
you,
me
Purple.
really good. It got me really good. You say which pot? So I would say not my network, but another faction maybe. I of course am referring to the Zentarim.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're not
Sometimes.
Zentarim.
Nope.
It'd be easy enough to
That
be able to tell that she's got you made.
Yeah. And she's just gonna sit down and like not continue to try and probably like just start feeding her swarm, pretending like it's not happening, like the entire experience didn't just happen.
Oh, no
Sorry.
need to worry. I'm well aware of needing to be discreet and better at lying. So, no hard feelings there.
Oh, thank you.
So how much have they told you? Do you know where this is going? How much of it there is? Anything?
I mean, next thing we know of is Waterdeep, but other than that, just not a lot.
She's gonna
You?
look back at you, Ulta, and say,
No.
well, in good faith, hopefully this will help you feel better, and tosses you a small stone in the shape of an ear.
We just keep joining clubs.
It's
Join all
my
the
understanding
clubs.
that you were expecting that, yeah? Seems collaboration is in our best interest.
Yes.
We're so good at
Ulta's
this.
just on point today.
This is my favorite thing.
Is Chrissy not remembering, or is Ulta trying to be nonchalant?
So Chrissy's also not a good liar. So, both.
Okay. You were told that sending stones were in order. This would
Yeah,
very
perfect,
clearly be a
yes.
sending stone. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that's what it was, but I couldn't remember from
A rocky
what part.
talkie.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
Thank you, Purple. That is very good.
I'm totally stealing that, Purple.
So when she sees the stone, I'm sure that would jog her memory as much as it just jogged Chrissy.
Little help.
And just she'll like give a nod and take the stone and in return offer her like a piece of beef jerky or something. Just for tradesies.
Oh, I'm all right, but thank you. Uh-oh, did we lose a Chrissy?
Oh no, Chrissy.
Ruh-roh!
Internets.
Chrissy!
The damn internet.
Ah. It always gets us. The real enemy, the real BBEG.
Chrissy
Yep.
has had potato internet and storms lately. Hold, please.
Mm-hmm.
Holding on.
What is the dial tone? Burr burr burr. Ring, ring.
There we are.
Hey, Chrissy.
Hey!
Potato.
Potato.
And I don't know if it's been like this anywhere else in the Northeast, but it's been raining constantly where I'm at for like the last 4 days.
Oh,
So it's also not helping.
that's all right. That's the first time we've had an issue tonight, so I think it's better than you might have expected. Okay, anywho. Oh, that's what that was. Okay. There's an opportunity for you guys to insert conversation if you choose. Aster and Ulta, specifically.
So I guess now, since our proverbial cover is kind of blown a little bit, what exactly brings your faction here into this?
Same thing as you, as far as I understand. Bad cult going the wrong way. Stealing a bunch of stuff
enough.
from a bunch of other people. Some crazy talk about
Fair enough.
dragons. I don't know if I believe that part, but
I would. So the same night that all of that happened with Ulta and the lizard man. No, there was a giant flying lizard in that town as well.
oh,
It's-
dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, conveniently, I'd not heard that part, so
Oh well.
even more
That's
impressed that
something that
you're
we saw.
alive.
Yeah, I am too. I think all of us are.
Hey, how many of these assholes? And she's pointing like to the cars ahead of you, and then thumb back to the cars behind you. How many of these assholes do you think there are in this caravan?
Aster would probably have a decent estimate at this point, right?
So yep, it'd be generally about 2 per cart. And by this point, you'd know that your caravan had about 25 to 30 carts as you left.
Okay. So yeah, about like 50 to 60 people, something like that.
2 per cart.
Mm-hmm.
How much gold do you think we got? And she's gonna like lean back and look like she's sort of almost taking an accounting of the crates and barrels in your cargo.
Far too much for one place.
Didn't think this much existed on the damn continent.
Yeah, I think we thought the same thing.
You know what you're gonna do once you hit Waterdeep?
No, heck, the player has a bad memory. Was there somebody that we were supposed to see in Waterdeep? Because I just heard that this caravan was going up to Waterdeep. We were just
That-
like, let's go.
That is
Isn't
the
Chrissy's
last-
contact or Ulta's contact in Waterdeep?
Right.
Your
That's who we were going
her
to.
contact is in Waterdeep, but that is luck of being part of Lord's Alliance,
Mhm.
and may or may not be connected to like the general plan. It was like the only lead you possibly have, and Ulta, you know, it's kind of loose. So yeah, the best directive you have at this point is, you know, Waterdeep is a point, and you have a friendly probably once you
Mhm.
get there.
And then, like, where we're pointed here on the map, is that where we are currently, or what's going on over here with the diamond?
No, you are farther. You're about halfway.
Okay.
You're about halfway to Waterdeep. I will point out.
Because this is where the map that we found in the cave had pointed.
Yeah, this is
Which is
so
interesting.
you did have the map that was in the cave is the entire map that you can see. And the pink arrows are as far as the arrows went. This was Frilla map. So the last thing I'll reveal for you now will be the last thing that was actually on the map, or the last couple things. You can see the Sea of Swords labeled there, and then Waterdeep right by the S. Oops. With this marker. Nope. There we go. Way up here. So I'll shift. There we go. That helps. You're about halfway.
Yeah, just kind of reading the room, not really wanting to like sell out information that Ulta may or may not want to share. I don't think Aster is going to share the bit about the contact, but Aster is going to just kind of continue and say, well, we had this map that we kind of, confiscated from our cult friends here, but it pointed to just this crossroads, so I'm not entirely sure what that meant since we're already past there.
Cult friends. Oh, you guys got in
quotes.
deep. Oh, the story of Grayness is just the beginning, eh?
Yeah, so you don't know the half of it.
So what do you do for a living?
Apparently this.
What's this? Just like hopping on carts,
Information.
hanging out. Check.
You're of the voluntary variety so far. Sometimes it's less voluntary, if you catch my drift.
In the cart behind them, Judo's sleeves roll up just in case.
Yeah, when they say that, Alta's gonna go, oh, right, yikes.
Oh, no need to worry. I've already got you made, and you don't have to tell me anything you don't want to. We're on the same team.
Check. And she'll just be like looking at Aster.
You may vibe check if you wish.
Yeah, just
It's
because, like
not
we
meant to be
haven't-
leading, but clearly
it's
you
not
guys
meant
seem
to be
uncomfortable.
leading, but like it was something that I've just been thinking of, like really just the entire conversation, just because like we haven't really vibe checked her previously, and just like what's her? She seems very relaxed, but like is that just a front? Like what's
Yeah,
going
so
on?
is it
What's-
daylight or no?
Yeah, you're like
Oh.
late midday at this
Alright,
point.
that's
But isn't
six.
Alta inside the cart?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Out of direct sunlight?
Oh, I see what I'm smelling what you're stepping in. Yeah, you did say you were inside the cart, so you are covered.
Oh, I accidentally rolled perception and not insight. Just kidding. Doesn't matter. 18.
Okay.
It's been a day.
Yeah, it's thrown you off a bit that she's so relaxed after having like the initial interaction that you guys had. However, Ulta, you've seen such behavior before, out of I wouldn't say you've experienced that before, but we'll say because of your upbringing and the people that you've been surrounded by growing up, you know that this sort of shifty, very nonchalant, relaxed, overly relaxed behavior, and especially just tossing a knife up and down behavior, is pretty resonant of folks who are like hired muscle, but not because they're strong. More so because they are sneaky and get things done behind the scenes.
Are they a harper? I can't know that.
Said
We said
Zentaran.
Zentaran,
They
but could
said
be double
Zentaran.
agents. That could
Yeah.
happen.
You never know. There are a bunch of
Double
weirdos in the
agents.
harpers. It's literally a part of their thing, is that they're double agents sometimes. So, the more you
Who
know.
knows? We don't know.
So as we are like sitting there traveling with this person, Alta's gonna. So, oh, I thought that kitten was going right for your head.
Yeah.
I got a
That
little
looked like
bit
a
nervous.
kill shot.
It really did. It looked like claws out going right for a face.
Oh my god. Oh, he grabbed
Oh,
him.
so sweet.
Oh, baby.
So Ulta's gonna kind of like, very awkwardly attempt. So, Jamna, how many people know about Greenest? And can you help us to get people to stop talking about it?
Probably a whole lot more than you'd like, and probably not.
Shit.
Best I can do is at least keep my lips sealed.
That would be great. And
But
then,
you've made something of a name for yourself.
No.
Although nobody knows your actual name. That might be your saving grace.
It's true. My name's. I
Don't,
almost
no,
said-
don't.
Yeah. No. I was
Nope.
gonna try.
In my
Thank you.
area, the less I know, the better off I am.
Yeah, because I was gonna try to lie again, and it.
Yeah, maybe stop doing that too.
That's a cat.
That's a
butthole.
butt. Cat butt sensor. Where's the sensor
Yeah,
bar?
Sorry, it
That
took me
was
a sec.
explicit!
It took me a second to realize what she did.
This is an 18 plus channel.
NC-17!
I mean, it is.
TOS, Monka, TOS.
Oh no! Potholes on stream.
Nailed it.
So Scott, I love this so much.
Stage. Chrissy, you were saying.
We all
man.
just died.
Yeah, I mean, Ulta was gonna try to lie again, so she's just gonna settle back
Stop
in.
it! You're crazy.
And then Ulta's gonna kind of go. So what have you heard about, like, not just me maybe, but like the rest of everybody, like everyone else, maybe.
Didn't really
They do
hear much
way
about.
cooler stuff.
Didn't really hear much about anybody else, but knew you probably weren't alone.
You're right.
Can tell you the fight with the lizard man is all there really was.
Okay. So limited. That's
Limited
So
but
you-
focused, we could say.
sure. So what you're saying is you don't necessarily know how many allies were with me in Greenest. Check.
Well, I would assume at least one. And then
Correct.
she looks over at you, Aster.
Ulta's gonna try to high five Aster. There it is.
There it is.
All right, yeah. This is. I'm gonna go back to sitting back here with these guys, and you're gonna see just hissing, uncomfortable, spectral possums.
Okay.
Just very uncomfortable, and I'm just gonna sit back down.
Okay.
Nice talking.
So at any point, Aster and Ulta, you can tell me that you want the conversation to be done. I don't want to just sit here and make you feel like you're forced to talk more. But I also don't want to just like cut it off and move on.
I think Aster shared what she's wanted to share and asked what she's wanted to ask.
Okay.
Same for Ulta. She mostly just wanted to know if we're gonna continue like the undercover dive, who they know about and who they do not. So
Okay.
knowing that the rest of her party for the most part is not known is good for her. She's like, oh good.
Okay. So we're gonna take. Let's take a short break, so that a certain
Kosher?
beast can be tamed. And then when we come in, Juno, we'll come back to you just to make sure I'm not. If there's anything you want to do about the conversation you've been hearing, we can come back to that and then move forward. We'll be right back. Back, we're having a very important conversation about desk chairs.
Yep, there it is.
So here it is. My personal advice:
Here
gamer
comes the
chairs,
discourse.
super overrated, super overpriced for the most part. I would definitely recommend. I mean, they look cool, so I'm not dissing you, Icarus.
I mean, I didn't get an expensive one. Mine was like $120, which isn't
Okay,
bad compared
yeah.
to most.
You can
but-
get good, comfortable, ergonomically helpful desk chairs for that and less. So, anywho, we wanted to clarify. It sounds like what's happening with this amulet now that Icarus knows precisely what it is. So we can just say, as part of the sort of glossing over, fast forwarding, whatever we want to call this, of the travel, what did you guys want to do with that amulet?
I want to give it to a friendly kobold. Yeah.
Chrissy, that was such a good
It
thing.
Do you
was so
accept?
good.
Okay. You are muted. I heard that.
I'm not repeating myself.
Okay, do you
Life's
accept the
great.
amulet? Are you taking it?
Yes, very
Okay.
awkwardly.
I come bringing gifts. I make it as weird as possible.
Icarus, if interrupt me if you want this to be different than the way I'm describing, but in order for that to work, I would have to assume that you're doing it at like an overnight after the caravan has stopped. You may generally have a habit of all of you camping out together for resting overnight, sort of thing. Is all of that
Sure.
close enough, or
Sounds convincing.
we're glossing over like weeks of travel here? So okay, so Ulta has the amulet, and after some time, Ulta, you now have the full description of that item, and as far as you're aware, those are the majority of, if not all of, like known means of spying on someone that are possible. Does that make sense? Okay. Anything else before we continue?
Were we going to do any more stuff with our downtime activity, or was that like what we did at the start for the full duration?
We will be doing more. We kind of fast forwarded for the first leg and then ended up on a RP heavy, like slow back down to normal play speed sort of thing for at least a conversation, and then we'll do
Yeah.
another round of crafting time stuff.
I'd like to meet the gnome at some point.
Okay, we could say at one point, like I said, during a camping overnight, like all of you, if nobody's refuting the suggestion that you're all getting together during your overnights, that
Yeah,
would
we
be simple
probably are.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if I don't like them? Okay, fine, I'll do it.
I mean, nobody's forcing you to talk to them.
To judgy elves.
To the tune of Man on the Run.
Sure. That's what I was singing. Yep. Yeah, I don't really have much to add to the conversation. It would be more like creepy I don't trust you stares. Especially when they talked about like kind of interrogating people and doing that the not nice way. As someone who uses zone of truth like a flickin' asshole, like I know that I'm not like in a proper place to judge this, but I am.
Okay, so
I am very critical of like the idea of like torture techniques being involved or something like that. So after hearing that, I'm very like off-put, and I'm not
Okay.
one for hiding my feelings. So it would be kind of like, who the F is this gnome, and why are they now with our party? And what the heck is Zenturium? What is it?
Zenturium.
Zenturium.
So are you?
That's how I spelt it. I spelled Zenturium. But what is that? Can I
so
ask them what is Zenturium? Since
can
my
absolutely ask
companions
that.
did not.
You can absolutely ask that. So I do need to ask a clarifying question for you. You just described things you would like to find out. Are you describing that as things that you actually ask them or bring up to a conversation? Because I hate it when people do this. I'm sorry that I just did it. I asked a question and then I started to clarify. I'm going to re-ask the question. You are coming from a perspective of you heard the conversation, but you were not part of it. And as far as anybody else knows, you were just not there, period. So if you enter yourself into information that was exchanged, that you would know that would be like news to anybody else.
I will also 100% be acting as if I do not know any of you.
Oh, okay.
As just a protective factor, and whenever there was an alone moment without Gemini.
Oh, I
Jamna.
would have been talking to you in your head at one point. Once like my spell went off, I would have also cast sending and been like, so what is this person about? Tell me everything.
Okay. So if that happened, then I would have like let you know. But when we stop in camp, Ulta would probably still hang out in the cart. She's gonna kind of just take a distance that way. If anyone else starts to notice her, she's not seen with Juno, Icarus, and Eliseo, because nobody has mentioned them yet. And if you guys can stay undercover.
Yeah.
So
I think we would just have like our cards partnered up with Eliseo more often than not, just because I do want to sleep next to my spouse every night. That is important to me.
That would be nice for Eliseo's shaky mental health right now.
Yep. Occasionally
that,
you get
hey.
Icarus for a day too, and we swap him back and forth.
Okay. I get shaky
Betrayed
mental
Icarus.
health. No.
Yeah, the only reason I said that is because like if you were to ask her questions that she addressed to Ulta or said to Ulta, if you were gonna address that, Ulta probably wouldn't be around to be able to be like, oh, this is one of my party members.
Yeah.
Because she's gonna kind of hightail it and keep distance from everybody.
Okay, and I'll say you guys don't have to like roll for that. Performance, insight, etc. Like, you guys have been together long enough. Like, even for a lot of you, Greenest was the start. It's been weeks, leading on months now. A couple of months at least that you've been together and traveling together. So like some nonverbal cues of like, keep your distance, stay that way, keep it zipped,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. This sort of nonverbal communication we can say easily enough is established. So you'd be able to tell that Ulta is intentionally trying to keep some distance right now.
Yeah, and I figure with sending, I can also just ask questions throughout the day, and then I think
have
someone in the
message,
party.
too.
Yeah, you have message, and that would be kind of how we would relay things back and forth too. Like, oh, I saw this person approach with this amount of money. They let them in, and it would be kind of like sending those type of messages back and forth, just so everyone's on the same page as we're traveling.
So Juno, before you commit to that, make a perception check, please.
Perception. Do, do, do. That's a 9.
Okay.
Natural 2 on my part.
Okay.
I'm bringing what I can to the table.
You are. I was just about to say that you're doing your best. You got that idea, and as far as you know.
Do you know who my brother is? He is in the cart with me.
Yep.
It's a hot mess.
A
Okay.
lot of the time that they are casting message, LSAO is like doing this so that because they are aware that there are lip readers, multiple in this party, and so like casting message you still have to like whisper, so they're doing as much as they can to make sure that anyone looking wouldn't see that they are casting a message to
Okay.
anyone.
Aster will also kind of join in the messaging, like just using animal messenger, and every once in a while, yeah, we'll just like get a little bird to talk to or something, like a little bluebird or something, and just look like I'm talking to it, and then like send it to someone else.
We're all so good at sending messages, y'all.
Okay. So, after some time of doing that, we're gonna say we'll like slow time back down to normal, and at one point after doing that for, we'll say, a few days at least of campouts and sort of touching base with your semi-separated now being careful group, Jamna will actually pipe in and say to you, Juno, at least, so who are you whispering to?
I'm sorry, who are you?
Name's Jamna, but something tells me you may already know that.
Right. No, I didn't know that, actually. But, what brings you onto my wagon?
Make a deception check.
I'm so scared.
Oh, no.
7.
Why
Hey,
are-
that's a better roll than my perception.
That's fair.
Based on the die.
Based on
I-
the die.
Just not charismatic.
We have one charismatic person in this
We
party.
have 2 charismatic people in this party.
Yeah, we have 2 brilliantly charismatic people, and they're sitting in a cart together right now.
Yep.
Unless Icarus is in my cart just causing mayhem.
He hasn't said anything about mayhem yet, so we're not going to retcon it. You're muted. Maybe that's the problem.
No, I'm just not saying anything. I'm just.
Okay. Okay. So at that blatant lie, Juno, she's going to respond, I'm very glad you are on the same team as us. And she'll kind of gesture to, no matter how far away anybody's sitting, your 3 carts are the most clustered out of the entire caravan that you can actually see at this point. It's been at least several days to this point, and if we haven't gotten the hint by now, this is an extremely observant person. So, she continues, I completely understand if there's a ruse that needs to be maintained. Is there any way I can prove to you that lying to me is no longer necessary?
Yeah, you could tell me what Zentrum is.
Zentrum is one of the main factions of this country, at least for the moment. Much like the Lord's Alliance has gone through its throes of disintegrating because of bad people. Corruption in the ranks, if you will. I think she could tell you a thing or two about that. Points at Ulta. The network is simply another name for it. Sort of to keep it under wraps. It doesn't exactly have the best reputation either. But, you know, as an assassin and thief of sorts, I can't imagine that I would be better suited for anything else.
I not so subtly, pull in my belongings a little bit closer to me and kind of like move to keep my elbow out just a little bit. Like, it's nothing personal.
Oh, but it is personal, and believe you me, she'll pull out a large for her pouch and just sort of throw it up and down in her hand a little bit. You'll hear a clanking of clearly at least coins. Believe you me, if I wanted to take it from you, I would have already. And then she sort of like hitches this patch to her belt.
I would not advise taking from me or my party, if I'm being completely honest.
Why is that?
Well, you already knew about what Ulta could do in Greenest, but you don't know what any of the rest of us are capable of. And I'd like to keep it that way, but if you try me, you will find out.
Oh, so she does have companions. Looks back at you, Alta, during this conversation. Well, as much as I can, I assure you, you've nothing to worry about from me.
Insight check.
Go for it.
I do not believe that she won't harm. It's a 26.
Yeah, you've been super suspicious, rightfully so. However, a few dots are connecting. Excuse me. Her story seems to be lining up. She'd heard of the fight in Greenest, at least of Ulta's fight in Greenest. Was able to ID you guys just by seeing you pass by. She hasn't been exactly hiding her skill, I guess, for lack of a better word, from the way she's been presenting herself, this relaxed nature, this extreme passive finesse with small weapons. She just brandished to you a pouch of stolen goods from the stolen goods. And everything about her story is lining up with the Zentrim, with what you guys know, at least to this point, about the factions and how much you know, how much you may not know, all of that. So as difficult as it might be, Juno, enough is lining up that you might choose to believe otherwise, but as far as you can tell, there's truth to what she's telling you.
So I trust what she's saying, but I do not trust what she would do to my party members if provided enough coin or opportunity.
Fair.
Or things like that. So it's more like a I know who you are kind of healthy keep away from me, because right now we're on the same side and I'd like to keep it that way. And I say that last little bit.
Okay.
But if anything goes sideways, remember that I am right behind you guys. And I'm listening. And I just kind of go back to very tensely driving my wagon.
Well,
I'd like
okay,
to think
this exact conversation is happening at night, like during a camp out, overnight sort of thing.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's the
Oh,
only
my
way
hands
you're
aren't on
all
two
like
and two,
together.
like-
It's
My
the
hands are
only way
still on
that
the-
like
just
all
kidding.
of you can be conversing at the same time. Yeah.
Yep. So
I'd
then
like
I
to-
will finish making my dome. Because that's what I've been making each night.
Okay.
Because I want to sleep in comfort.
I'd like to think to keep LSAO occupied, I've been casually talking their ear off.
Okay. Anything in particular?
completely random things. Like, oh, did you see that bird over there? And then, like, every now and then I change what I look like in my face just to fuck with them. And I'm just like, hey, did you bring a drink? I could use a swig. And just, like, literally just going crazy because I'm so bored that I just, like, need to entertain myself and assume it's entertaining them, too.
Would like to attempt to push him off the cart.
Oh, no.
My favorite that I come back to every now and then is, like, my standard, like, cult thug is, like, a frat boy. I'm like...
I just stiff arm
Hey, yo,
you as
bro.
like, nope.
Hat
Wait, you're
backwards,
strong.
riding a moped in sandals, tank top, chest out.
Long socks with my shorts.
Don't join the cult. You're so sexy.
Stop making me ugly laugh, I swear.
Oh man, we have no personal experience with this at all.
No.
And then, like, at one point, I just, like, as we're sitting down for the night, I twist my cap backwards and I go, hey sis, you want to join me in prayer tonight?
I face palm so many times.
Your LSAO starting to develop a dent in their forehead.
Yep. Over time. Before I finish this conversation with Gemna, the gnome met on the road, I look at my particular wagon and I'm just like, second box in, third one down. That's where the most valuable things are. If you need anything.
Oh no, I'm already covered, and even I wouldn't mess with this cargo.
Interesting. And then I'm guessing my brother just interrupts this conversation I'm having with this gnome I look really uncomfortable sitting next to. Like, if I had food in my lap, I was not eating it.
Okay.
That's when the wanna join me for prayer comes in.
It's like you
Aster-
knew.
Aster, by this point, you've had a really, really subtle but lingering sense of how do I want to word this? Nature around you doesn't feel quite right. And it's a combination of, like, obviously you're a little out of your element. You're more in your element actually now than since the campaign has started, because you're not in cities or towns anymore. You're out on open road, but you're out in nature at this point, more so than ever before since we started this campaign, since arriving at Greenest. And you notice way off in the distance at this point to your west and also to your north, the familiar sight of thick wooded areas. And as you sort of get deeper and deeper into this zone of your trek, nature around you doesn't feel quite right. And every day seems to have some subtle reminder of that. And then after like a week, it gets a little bit stronger. Something's off.
Okay. I would like, just kind of as a first thing to do, to cast Druidcraft, just my cantrip here, and create that orb that tells me about the weather for the next 24 hours.
Sure.
Just to see what it says. Also, my cat just put her full body weight into my door. Thank you. It is wide open now.
Cats tonight. What's
Fine.
going on?
This is what they do. They are menaces, but we still love them. Are you gonna come here and say hi to stream?
I let
No.
mine out because she was throwing a fit.
Rare.
All right, come here, you.
So you're using your druid craft, yes?
Mm-hmm. I am.
Next 24 hours of weather.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the middle of summertime, and all of you would understand that this is generally on the warmer side of mild, but consistently sunny and dry season. Excuse me. Aster, as you pull up the completion of your spell, you see this orange orb in front of your face with the occasional passing cloud. But oddly, every once in a while, the orange orbs seems to sort of like flicker this greenish color. Just for a moment.
Yeah, if there's any time that we're not moving or just like before camp or helping set up or something, like if Aster is out, like, I don't know, probably getting firewood or something, she will 100% be like just looking out for additional signs, trying to kind of discern what this means. And yeah, like while she's like looking, if this is like a survival thing or whatever, she will actually use her shifting feature and, assume some feathers that kind of appear in her hair and the same kind of like patches of scales every once or so on her skin kind of appear. And mechanically, I have advantage on wisdom checks, and no creature within 30 feet of me can make an attack roll with advantage against me unless I am incapacitated. Yeah, she's just gonna be like looking out, just trying to find like additional clues to what this means.
Sure. So you can go ahead and make 3 survival checks.
Okay. Advantage. All right. All right, so a 19, a 12, and a 23.
Okay. So on your first day / evening of doing this, after you've checked your druid craft has given you a little bit of a sign of abnormality, you would be off sort of doing your normal routine of checking for firewood, and maybe like freely available game for having dinner. Would you say you're the hunting type, or would you be avoiding animals for food sort of thing?
I would say like not necessarily the hunting, definitely more of like the gathering. Like if there's like some type of roots or like edible things that she can find, like
Okay.
she would probably do that instead.
Okay. So I'll modify that a little bit. So you're on the usual gathering trek between wood for a campfire overnight and what you can find of nature for food. And your first attempt at sort of trying to glean more information, you notice that the plant life and foliage around you is a little bit wilted. And with that, it'd be kind of hard to tell if it might be just because of the season or some kind of external factor, but it does seem a little bit more than usual for the season, at least. Your second day out, you see, similar evidence, I guess, similar signs, but it's really almost impossible to get anything additional from the bushes you check out, the berries, the weeds, the foliage. It's really difficult to discern, like, if something is actually off, and if so, what. But then your third day, you would actually spot a small group of trees that have collapsed over. And at first glance, it would be like, huh, probably struck by lightning or a large beast. You know, there are animals in this world that will, like, just ram into trees for various reasons. Sometimes to, like, sharpen and clean their antlers, or, you know, things of that nature. And then sometimes to just, like, take out aggression. There are certain creatures in this world that would just, like, go out on trees. At first glance, that might be what it looks like. But then you check it out a little bit and notice that there's actually some rot coming from inside. What's the inside of a tree called? Not the I guess veins that run nutrients up and down. What is that called?
Oh, it's either xylem or phloem, and I always forget which one it is.
That. It's like
one goes up and one goes down.
In the core of the tree, like from the middle, you can see evidence, not like you specifically with your background in nature and ability to discern this type of thing. You'd be able to tell that it's subtle enough that it wouldn't be very obvious to most people, but you can tell that there's some kind of rot happening in the trees.
Means it's time to talk to the plants again.
Yeah, Aster's. I have multiple casts of this, so she's gonna try to talk to this tree that's in front of her at least.
One of the rotting trees?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. 10-minute thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you say?
She's just gonna kind of call out first and say, hello?
Hello?
Oh, you're still there. Thank God. Hi. My name's Aster. I'm just kind of passing through, but I couldn't help but notice what's going on here. I don't quite understand. What's going on here? I'm not gonna ask if you're okay, because I know you're not. But what's going on here?
1 second. Sorry. Aster of the Karu.
Yes. How did you know that?
Because you are of the Karu. We have heard of you. Are you here to help?
If I can, I'm not entirely certain how, but I'll do whatever I can.
We are sick. The Guardian is sick.
Guardian. Who is that exactly?
The Guardian Morlack. Surely you know Morlack.
Do I?
History check.
I'm not gonna know. We're gonna try though. We're gonna try. Oh no. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, I wish it was advantage D&D Beyond. I'm gonna add my +2 from Primal to that to make that an 18.
Okay. Morlack is a name that you've heard before, but it's associated with a being that you also know as another name. You're not sure exactly what the other name is, but you know that Morlack is just a name from certain beings, and the tree beings are among them. So different languages, different names.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that this is referring to a being that you've heard of. You're just having trouble recalling. Something about a spirit guardian, something about guardian of the forest. You're delving into like stuff of legend that you may have heard in like through like the oral history of your people, but you're having a hard time recalling details.
Okay. Oh no, we dropped Chrissy.
Whoa!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Chrissy, no. Okay, hands.
I was wondering when she was gonna leave.
Oh my
I'm
God.
kidding. I'm
God,
kidding.
Isaac.
I'm kidding.
Off the stream.
I'm kidding. I love her.
Okay,
It was
so
a joke.
you know what?
I take it back.
Let's just take this opportunity for a short break, and bathroom refills, all that stuff, while we're waiting for Chrissy to come back, and then we'll be right.
Let's get down. Stop
Okay,
crying.
Now you're good.
Uh-huh. Oh man, I almost caught it. All right, we're back.
I saw that.
That's
us
what
back.
you were doing?
What?
I thought you were trying to catch me.
Okay, after some technical difficulties, we're back.
With some good
around.
tables.
Damn. Okay,
Thank you, Saito.
good tables around. We are coming back on somebody talking with our gnome friend. I already forgot.
I had been talking with the gnome friend, but we were also
Talking
Heck
to a
was
tree.
talking to
Oh, you were
a
talking to a tree. That's right.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
more important.
So the trees are sick. The guardian is sick. They've given you a name that you recognize from basically oratory across generations, but you're having a hard time pinpointing what exactly the name refers to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The next thing you should probably ask is, sorry I'm asking so many things, but where can I find them? Where can I find Morlock?
Morlock is north, beyond the people.
Oh, I assume that means Waterdeep. Is that a safe assumption to make? No? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
The sickness runs far.
I see. Well, I certainly want to get to the root to it, but I think there is maybe one thing I can do to help here, at least for the time being. So, first of all, what Aster is going to do is cast Animal Messenger again and send just a message to Juno of like where she is in the forest roughly, rough directions and all that. Like, I went, this many paces, certain cardinal direction, this many paces that way, just to have a general location of where she is. And if possible, she would like to spend the next 8 hours casting plant growth.
Oh.
Yeah, try to find the most centralized portion in this forest to get like the biggest effect that she can cast in plant growth. And if you cast it over 8 hours, you enrich the land. All plants within a half-mile radius centered on that point become enriched for the next year. And all the plants yield twice the normal amount of food when harvested.
Hot damn.
Okay. So a couple things are going to happen. The message gets to, you said Ulta?
To me.
I think I said
Juno.
Juno.
Juno. Okay. Juno, you get this kind of cryptic message from you'd recognize as Aster about like a location where she is. And for a while she doesn't come back. Aster, during at least a few minutes, you're going to be casting this spell as you described. And you'd notice almost immediately that there's a resistance from the ground beneath you. You know that normally this would happen as you will it. But there's a combination of magical and natural force sort of resisting your intent. It's a little subtle. It's not like, here is the problem, eradicate. You can tell that it's a sort of on the edge of the problem. So I'm going to need you to roll a d20.
Okay.
And on an 8 or better, you will succeed.
Can I come in and assist? Because I had a couple ideas. Like, if Aster doesn't come back for more than like 30 minutes, I'd be like, okay, I want to go see what this is too. And then I would let LSAO know exactly what Aster had told me.
Okay, so let's pause before you roll that, Aster.
Okay.
Because I have a few spells that I was going to just like start pumping into trees if I could.
Sure. She's really not far enough away that you couldn't find her within a minute.
I've got sending prepared too, so I could just be like, where are you?
Yeah, let's burn a sending spell. And then reasonably you could find her. And you said you would want to let LSAO know. LSAO, are you going to go with them?
Was it specified please come with, or was it specified stay back in case of emergency?
Yeah, Aster's intention was like sending it to Juno, like with the intention that Juno would probably tell everybody and get the entire group together for a group effort.
I think that's
I
reasonable.
figured, yeah, she
Sweet.
was
But
probably
yeah, if that was at
best
the end of the
one to do that.
message, I would
Yes.
definitely have spent like the half hour like finding everyone and then shooting a message to Ulta, who is carefully staying away from us. Or having LSAO
Yeah.
shoot a message to Ulta so that way I don't have to burn a spell slot I'm sending.
Deal. I can absolutely do that. Because I have message.
Okay.
Okay. And then once I join Aster, like I have, after talking with them very briefly, and especially when they say like, oh, the ground is not, or the area around me is not responding in the way I thought it would, then I would probably start with the lesser restoration, and then that would probably fail, but then I would move up to remove curse and see if there's a curse on these. Even if it's just on one tree, I would feel better if I removed the curse from a single tree.
Okay.
And just trying to like sort out that way. And that's kind of like the helping energy I'd be providing, as well as a prayer of healing while Aster continued casting. I'm just
Okay.
trying to send good vibes into the trees.
So you said a few things.
Yeah.
What was before remove curse?
Lesser restoration.
Okay.
I do not have greater yet.
Okay, lesser restoration, you can tell fizzles in front of you as you cast it. So we will need to burn that spell.
Okay, because it's the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Yes.
I don't know if these things are poisoned.
So you would reasonably enough be able to tell that none of those conditions apply after the spell. You can tell that the spell like happens but then fizzles in front of you with no effect. So none of those conditions apply. However, when you cast Remove Curse, you'd say you're at Aster at this point,
Yeah.
casting these spells. Okay.
Yep, I would have waited until I got to Aster, and Aster explained, like, that the ground was not responding.
Yeah, so Aster, you're like in the midst of casting this spell over time that you're
Exactly.
going for. Juno, you can tell that she's trying to work some magic. It's different from yours, but you like there's always the verbal, somatic, and material components. I guess both of you have spellcasting focuses, right?
Yes.
But so you can tell that that's magic is at attempt right now. So you make your first attempt and it fizzles. You can tell that none of those conditions apply. But then upon casting Remove Curse, you're focusing on one particular tree that maybe Aster pointed out and said, this is not right, something's wrong. You cast Remove Curse and you can see that a sort of wisp of light seems to emanate from the core of it. But only the one tree. It's already withered, it's already cracked at the trunk, but there's like an energy that changes about it. And you can tell that there's some form of success with this Remove Curse. And Aster, you can also tell that the spell that she just cast, the magic that she attempted to add into your attempts, your pool of attempts here, is helping, at least at the localized spot that she chose.
And then as Aster continues, I just hug the tree that I removed the curse from for 10 minutes and cast Prayer of Healing on it while Aster continues. The really long holding of the tree.
Oh, man.
I feel like it makes sense.
What was the spell again?
I think I threw it
Prayer?
in there. Prayer
Prayer
of
of healing?
Healing. Oops, was that Lesser Restoration that just popped in there? That's not what I wanted. Oops, hold please. Why is it not? Did that do it? Nope, it's just not showing it. Okay, that's fun. Prayer of Healing. You just don't get the text. I don't know how to make the text show up.
Okay,
Here,
so
we'll do
up to
this.
6 creatures of your choice that you can see regain hit points.
Yeah, I know that they probably don't have hit points, but
Okay, but yeah, you're going for a... This is the sort of gray area of D&D that I both
I'm just
loathe
pumping
and
healing
enjoy.
energy into the area around me while Heck
Vibes.
is just providing growth and
Yeah.
new energy. I am trying to restore what is already here with hugs.
Yes. You damn tree hugger.
Yeah.
Listen,
Which we
Kith it.
love. Okay. Point of order. Aster, Eliseo, and Juno are here for sure. Icarus and Ulta, are you still at the camp or did you join?
I feel like we were requested, but I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll join because what's gonna happen to our carts, you know?
I should have taken alarm.
Ulta would not have left.
I have Puff. Puff can stay back at the cart.
Ulta would not have left the carts.
Okay. Ulta, you would notice as the last of the group, probably Icarus, left. Jamna would have like been looking at the people leaving and then looking back at you and then looking back at them disappearing into what is now basically almost twilight. Sort of sunset, we'll say. And then look at you again. Inhale, exhale, and then prop up. She's been flipping a knife up and down the whole time. Grabs the knife, props up, and sort of power walks to the group. And Icarus, she's right behind you. It's not difficult to tell. She's clearly not hiding it. But you can tell she's taking a sort of observatory stance. She's just watching.
Can I help you, ma'am? I'm a new person now because I haven't interacted with her yet, so I'm just keep changing my appearance.
I thought you were walking away.
I was walking
Are you
away, but
staying
she's
with
following
her?
me. He just said she was
okay.
following
Well,
me.
okay,
Right?
she's not following you. You're just the last person among those to leave,
Mhm.
and she is behind you. So, I guess you could assume she's following you. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
None of that, eh? Where they going?
I don't know. I just figured we lost some people. Maybe we should check up on them.
So what I'm gathering here is this group wholesale is terrible at lying.
Hey, I'm good at lying. What the I'm the one who's good at it.
Well,
She doesn't know me yet. You don't know my life. You don't know my story.
True, but she knows you're lying. But and as you're trying to engage in conversation, she sort of like looks and walks right past you, and like leans up on one of the remaining standing trees and just watches.
Ma'am, you got a permit for leaning on that tree?
Oh my god.
This is protected property. You need a permit to lean on the trees. You could knock off some bark.
Sure about that?
Yeah. Did you
Why
read
aren't
the
you
sign
helping
back
your
there?
friends?
I don't know if you picked this up by now, but I'm not very helpful.
meanwhile, like sweat is just starting to like pour down Aster's forehead as she's trying to like get this to work.
Okay, Aster, we're gonna flip back to you.
Perfect. I don't know if I have any more of that.
Roll a medicine check at advantage because of Juno's attempt at help. You guys are kind of shooting blind into the dark here. But Aster, you can tell something's wrong, and you're trying to at least locally help. Juno, you have no idea what exactly the forces are at work here, but you're trying to help.
Is it possible to guide myself or no? I will just take the advantage and not guide if possible.
I could guide you. I could slap some guidance on you.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, thanks. So plus a
There
d4.
it is.
Okay. Good thing I had advantage, but we're gonna roll that d4.
Huh?
Okay, 25.
Okay. You do manage to emanate an energy in the 15-20 feet around you. So a small grouping of trees, some bushes and shrubbery in between that brightens up this aura around the plant life, including the trees that have wilted over. Short of the ones that are already, like, the trunks are snapped, there's no saving those. But there are a few that exist still that kind of perk up a little. The bushes and shrubbery beneath perk up. They sort of, like, go through this almost time-lapsed transformation, Jesus, of reinstated vitality. Okay. You can tell that the negative energy in this area has subsided. And for one reason or another, whatever it may be, you hear a voice of the very same tree that you were originally talking to. even though you know that spell by now has ended. This helps us, but still, the sickness resides. Please, the spirit, it is north. Help us.
Yeah, and she will accept that. She knows that she has to go north in order to help. But yeah, if possible, yeah, she will. Even if it takes exhaustion, she's going to try for that full 8-hour cast to do just the full extent that she can. Just deep meditative state, just trying to connect with as much as she can, even if it's only that small radius.
Okay. Make this is going to be assisted because you have several sources of magic helping you.
And Icarus cheering.
Make a
Are you
survival check.
inspiring with your cheer?
Oh, I could do that. Yeah, I'm inspiring with my cheer.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
I forgot I'm a bard.
Surprise!
Yup.
Thanks,
Okay, so
thanks,
what-
sis.
Are you inspiring?
Yeah, a D6.
Okay, so you have the D6 inspiration, also at advantage.
Okay.
This is actually going to be nature. You are getting in tune with nature.
Okay. Thank God for advantage again. Let's roll that d6. 25 again.
I kid you not, the DC was 25. You are able to tap into a supernatural state that, much like this spirit of Marlock, you've only ever heard of through oral history and stories and legend. And as far as you're concerned, this is it. You are able to take the perspective of what you can surmise is, if this tree was a person, this would be it. You're like seeing out from this tree. And you get this feeling of sensation. Like in your person form, if you pinched your arm, you know what the pain is and what it feels like. In the meditative state you're in right now, you have a similar sensation. But the feeling, the local, where is this coming from? You get this feeling sort of signal miles and miles and miles away. Far beyond what you expect to be your next destination, Waterdeep. Farther to the north. And you get a very brief moment of sensing a sort of blight. A centralized heat pinching, a hot pinch. And you can tell that it is, in whatever way you can translate it, the source, but you are not able to tell whatsoever what it is. You know what fire feels like. You know what cutting feels like. You know what smashing feels like as a tree for this moment. But this pain is something completely alien to you. And then you snap out of it.
Kind of pushes her back a little bit, and again, like, she is visibly sweating from the amount of like spiritual, physical, mental exertion that it's taking to do this, because it is the full extent of her power as a 3rd level spell slot, honestly. And
Which is like at the peak of what you can do right now, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is actually the most that I can do. And yeah, he'll just kind of push her back. She's just kind of breathing heavily, looks around. Whatever the source of this is, it's large. And it's painful. I don't know what it is, but we definitely need to stop it. As a dog walks into my room. Hello, dog.
You know, I feel like we're gonna run into it eventually if we're heading on this path, eh?
Hopefully.
Icarus, make a performance check.
Oh yeah, I will. What do I have, a +2? Yes, I do have a +2. Okay, performance. That was in 20. Dirty.
All right, you feel pretty good about your ruse.
Probably just keeping this up for me.
At one point after that, you would have noticed like several glances from Jamna, and she would just look over you and kind of shake her head, say, "You don't need to hide that from me anymore. But if it makes you feel better." I will say that would be a first time for me. And she's pointing at Aster and Juno. I think a couple of you were also around her, helping with everything that just happened. And Jamna is clearly, like, in her own way, in awe at observing it.
Now remember, you don't tell none of this to none of them. No one. None of them.
Are you mocking me now?
No, I was just really bad at voices. I forgot what my persona was for this one.
Oh, okay.
I would like to think that Icarus actually responds with, "No, I'm just really bad at voices."
That would actually be really good. That'd be good.
It's canon now.
It's just like, I can't keep track of all my personas, okay?
Think you have promise, but maybe work on that one a bit.
And can I change into Gemna just to mess with them? I'm working on it right now.
You can try. Are you a shifter?
In my own way, I have Mask of Many Faces.
Oh, that's right.
But remember that you can't be a gnome size though.
Oh
You're
shit,
gonna
I'm
be
a tall
another-
Gemna.
You're gonna be like 3 times her size.
This one's still in progress.
Tall kobolds and tall gnomes.
As this is going on, Juno will go over to LSAO and be like, "We need to let Alta know what's happening. I wouldn't want to be the one sitting there waiting to see if my friends came back from the woods."
I can head back. I'm not.
On that
much
note,
use out here.
let's pause and go back to Alta. There's a solid hour, we'll say, that everybody's gone. Is there anything you're doing during that hour?
Did Gemna leave as well? Like
Oh,
fully?
yeah. She
Okay, yeah.
was like awkwardly glancing at you and then eventually trailed behind Icarus, and as far as you can tell just followed the group.
My bird is still around, so if you need company or if you need to get a hold of us, you can grab him.
Yeah. So I would say Ulta is, hang on one second. She would have probably found a spot somewhere in the cart that she was traveling in with Aster, kind of like a little bit hidden. And she would open one of her little bags and let our little dragon friend out to get some fresh air. And this time, instead of trying to get them like riled up, as she's attempting to like feed it dinner, she's going to like do one of these. Are you hungry? And like start doing sign language in an attempt to start practicing a dragon cant.
Nice.
So that me and little dude have like a language.
All right. So we can formally mark a skill point to that.
If my internet will let me, sure.
Do you want me
Plus-
to add it to your sheet? Because I could do that.
Yeah, please. I'm not gonna test the waters.
We'll also have you roll a... For now, it'll be an animal handling check.
Okay. Uh, 10 total. My internet's not picking up on the roll 20. Did
Okay.
you-
No
so
worries.
for some reason, yeah. Because potato internet. But it was a 10.
Okay. So, given the attempts at communication you've had to this point and the interactions you've had already, you can tell that this going for communication has had its ups and downs to this point so far. But he's clearly focused on you, especially being the only person around while you're doing this. And especially with like familiar territory with motions you're making, hand motions you're making. Whoops, sorry. And the amount of eye-to-eye contact you're making with him. And he's sort of going with it. So you can mark a success and the extra skill point. And you can tell you are on your way.
I will also use that time to send a message. I will
Okay.
speak very lightly into my ear stone, very romantically. I don't know. I feel like anytime you whisper into an ear, it's gonna be weird, right?
Couldn't hurt to make it weirder.
My next inspiration to you is gonna be, "Hey little mama, let me whisper in your ear."
That's it. That's 100%
Oh, no.
perfection.
Next song written. It's Sending for Bards.
What do you say?
So, now I think my memory was jogged. This is going to the person that I was asking about my shadow, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I don't know if Ulta knows that much about sending stones. Is there a max on the words? I know Chrissy doesn't know that much about sending stones either.
Yes. We can retcon that enough to say that shoot, what's her name?
I don't remember, but yes, I know who you're talking about.
Oh Okay, well, the Harper contact that you're thinking of would have told you that you had to keep the messages short.
Okay. So I will just use short sentences. Continuing to travel with caravan. Have met up with
Astral.
Astral. That's it. Thank you. Perfect. Continuing to travel with caravan. Have met up with Jamna. Received sending stones. Still no shadow. Any updates? You can reply to this message. I had to throw in the nod to Critical Role. It's Thursday.
Heyo.
It's the Thursday.
It is.
Yeah, they've got like 5
Yep.
more hours of content still.
I'm not even gonna catch the recap because it's still gonna be going.
Almost
it. That's all I'll
almost immediately, you will hear. It's obvious you know more than us. Please stay in touch. I'm glad you've received it.
I will not say it into the ear as a message, but I will turn to Tiny Dragon Friend and I will say, well, that wasn't super fucking helpful.
He'll actually look right at you and then look at the stone and tilt his head.
And burn it to shreds.
That's what I was just gonna say. You can do it, you can attack it if you want. No. When he does that, I would like to kind of like give a little like dragon scritch and a little piece of meat rather than a cricket or anything. A little bit more of like a high value treat.
Encouragement.
I know, yeah, I know how this goes. I've raised animals.
Good stuff. They know.
And then I will just kind of like make sure I'm keeping an eye on the tree line and keeping an eye on other caravans, making sure nobody's coming up to our stuff, anything like that, just across the board.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. So for the rest of you, are you leaving after this sort of localized area of restoration and healing that you've done, or are you checking anything else out before you go?
I think while the casting is still happening with Aster, Juno wants to check in because this is the first time they've actually like gone away from the cultists. Juno really wants to check in with LSAO and see how they're doing because they have been fully immersed in cultist stuff for like a couple weeks now of just being on the road with them, and they've looked back while driving in their, side view mirrors that are totally on these carts, seeing their very anxious spouse. Or I'm narcissistic enough to have my own mirror and just be looking backwards with my mirror and just checking in, seeing my spouse sweat a bunch and being too scared to talk at camp.
Yeah, it's mostly a lot of just like face forever.
Yeah, I think I like
Poof
walk
and
up
fluff.
to you as we're like sitting there by Aster, and I just like massage out the furrow in your brows
Thank you.
and just check in.
Hi.
I would ask how you're doing, but I already know.
Oh, and we're are we by the gnome person or not?
If you're at camp, yeah.
If we're by the gnome person.
No, we're still in the woods, I think, because I'm waiting. This is while Aster's still casting.
Oh, yes.
Because I don't want to I want Aster to have the full time, but after my 10 minutes of tree hugging is over, I would check in.
I was gonna
on my
say
spouse.
So you'd have
you
been
have,
able to see that
one-
Jamna's watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the,
that's why.
the collective you, not just you, Juno.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, she's there.
Just go over, still massage that furrow and just be like, how are you? I know it's not great.
No, it is not. But we're on our way, and I'm like awkwardly looking at Gemna. Be like, is she like paying attention to us right now? Is she like paying attention to us right now? GM.
Yes.
Cool.
Take her away. Should I distract her? Should I take her out?
No.
I've got
We did all get good tables. We could take her. I'm kidding. Yeah, so there's just a big sigh from them of like, yeah, it's not great.
Big hug,
But,
arms
yeah.
come up underneath,
Mm-hmm.
and just pull in.
Mm-hmm. Forehead smooch.
Thank you. I needed that. This is about me now.
Okay. That's fine.
Me.
I'm 200 years old, but I am baby. Yeah, no, I'll just hug you then. Giving you comfort.
I'll enter the conversation at this point.
Will,
Hi.
I will push your face out of this. We're having a moment.
Oh, I thought it was over. My bad.
No.
I'll come back later.
You're 200 years old. You should understand how long moments can be.
Actually, if you could, and I'd give like as much of a side eye as I can, having massive black eyes that don't really move much. But there's a clear side eye happening of like, you go talk to you. I'll even point with one of my ears. I need you to not, but
I tried. She doesn't like me.
I mean, just talk loud.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. Oh, hey,
Not
Gemna!
by Aster. Take her away from Aster.
Let's go over there. You know, talk about knives.
Make a performance or deception check, your choice. I don't care. This is
I don't
already
think it
great.
matters. Oh, that was really bad.
Yeah.
I can't inspire myself. That's a rule.
No, it's just Gemna. That Gemna's doing this to us.
That was the worst I've rolled today. It's a 12.
I will also say I think she's like a super high rogue.
Oh, gotta be.
Yeah.
She's terrifying. I
Absolutely.
get nervous around her. I'm not that kind of bard.
You gotta flirt with her now. No.
Only one way out. Flirt.
I'll drop my disguise to see if that helps distract her a little bit, like so she knows what I actually look like.
Behold,
And
this is
see if-
my real face.
See if she's like, oh, now I am interested by you, or something.
Okay, so you're gonna drop it all together?
Yeah, and I'll be like, hey, this conversation, let's talk about knives over there in the other part of the woods.
Okay, so when that new visage happens, we'll say top to bottom, with this overtime slow effect, she'll look at you and say, huh. That was pretty close. Well, clearly you want me away from here. So I'll walk with you.
I get that you're sneaky and all, but some people still like their privacy every now and then, you know. Just etiquette.
Well, I understand that, but something tells me you might not.
Oh, shit. He just reflects for a moment. He goes, it's different. It's different.
Family dynamic, eh?
No. Wait, where would she even get that from?
Party of bad liars.
I hate this. I don't even look like her.
We don't look alike.
Yeah.
We only have
Fine.
pointy ears.
Yeah.
Icarus, as you and Jamna are sort of leading the charge, not charge, but leading the slow regrouping back to camp, you'd recognize that there's a person standing at your campfire. long and deep red robes with something of a headdress. It's a little bit difficult to make out from the distance. I see you, corn dog. From the distance as you approach, and they're sort of extending a modest hand toward you to acknowledge the fact that you're approaching.
Like a stop or like a wave?
More like a wave.
Okay. Hello there?
Hello.
Yes.
Is this
Hello.
the camp belonging to you?
I believe so. I might have gotten turned around though, but it looks like mine.
This one requests passage to the north.
So they're also asking to hop on our bandwagon?
Yeah.
Just DM talk, okay. I don't know, we're pretty full right now. Maybe you could try another caravan. I'm not really cut out for making these kind of decisions.
Oh, this one can sit in back. No problem.
Why do you want on our part of the caravan? Why don't you go try someone else?
This carriage is closest to this one.
Well, you clearly walked here some other time. You were here when we set up, so like, why did you walk to another one?
Oh, this one was walking from empty field.
As I get closer, can I see anything about them? Like anything more specific than just red hood?
Yeah,
headdress?
so red robes, long and bangy, for lack of a better word. Loose fitting. You can't really see any physical features about this person until you reach from the neck up. You can see a small head cap.
Head cap.
Is that the right word?
Head-
There's like a wool linen
Oh, yeah.
fitting,
Yeah.
like up the neck, up the jawline, up the forehead. So everything behind that line is like a fitted cap.
Mm-hmm.
Like a hood.
Everything is red. Yes. Like a hood, but fitted to the skin.
But tight, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who are you? Why do you require passage by us? You know, I'll have to do the normal, thorough interview, you know, see if you're qualified for the passage we provide.
This one goes to Waterdeep. This one notices you travel in the correct direction.
All right, what's the purpose of this travel? Is business or pleasure?
This one does not understand.
Why are you headed there? What's your name? You didn't answer that one either. Who are you?
This
Dude,
one
I'm
is
asking for the
called,
basics.
This one is called Asbara. Asbara Jos.
Asbara Jos.
Please.
A bar of juice.
This one requests passage to, how you say, Waterdeep. And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Can't figure anything out from this guy. I'm trying so hard.
The two NPCs introduced tonight have clusterfucked my brain.
They're super sketch, both of them.
Hey,
It's fine.
welcome
Come here,
to
baby
being
girl.
a DM.
I don't trust none of it. As
You
you
want-
saw by my face, the second you're like, a person in long red robes stands by your campfire.
I was just trying to give her the attention she wanted.
Hey,
She
cat,
went for the
calm
face.
down
That was
for
not
like,
what you wanted.
It was like,
damn. This cat needs to get with the program.
I've given her more attention than normal too, so I don't know what's wrong with her.
Okay,
You're feeding into this energy.
Oh my god.
so The person calling themselves Asbera Jos has approached you.
Yes.
I hear that.
He's a cat.
We're going to do quick outros and call it a night. Aster, who the heck are you?
Hey guys, it's me, Sir Heckalot, you know. Or maybe you didn't because we forgot intros, or I forgot intros. I don't know. My brain is putty right now. But hey guys, I played
So much RP.
so much RP. I played Aster, the shifter druid, who has a lot of thoughts, and we're gonna do this. Oh my god, thank you, Saito. Thank you so much for the donation. You are so sweet. Good night, fam. I am so glad you're here. We're very happy to have you. You can find me at Twitch and Twitter and Instagram at Sir Heckalot, as well as our lovely Discord that you should definitely join because it's linked in chat now. We have a lot of shenanigans in there. In terms of where you guys see me next, you actually won't see me until Sunday for Total Party Recap, along with Turt and Cole and all that. But next week, guys, we are going to be doing Wrath of the Many, which is the mini series that Ty is going to be GMing, and I will be there along with Chrissy and some other very lovely folks, and I'm so excited for it. The session 0 went super interesting apparently, so I can't wait to learn about that. In terms of that, other than that, you can see me on Neon Lights Roleplay, playing in the Seven Sons campaign, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, as well as on Sunday for In His Divine Name, an Only Word campaign. And that is all I have coming up. So we're just gonna keep on keeping on.
I have to sneeze. I'm really sorry. I know it's my turn. Okay, it's not gonna happen. This is fine. Okay, so hi, I'm Niffer. I'm a mess. I was Elseo, the cool time wizard. Not cool right now, kind of the panicking time wizard, but that's fine. I am taking a bit off for the next while, where you can find me. Normally we have our Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign tomorrow, but we are taking off. There's some cool text RP on the Discord though, so go check that out. And yeah, the next time that you'll see me is actually for our Curse of Strahd game on the 16th of June. So I'll just be causing chaos in text otherwise, so see you around there. Also, I'm a Jasper's Game Day ambassador, and Jasper's Game Day is a wonderful charity that we work with and send a lot of support their way. They're a wonderful group that is for the education and awareness of suicide prevention and education in those areas. So go check them out. They have a shortcut in chat as well. So I'm gonna send it there.
Hiya. I think it's me, Hyacinth.
It is you.
Yep.
I knew I was next. I was just making sure that Nif was done so I could, not. Yeah. So, I played, Brain Dead, apparently, in-game and out.
All of us.
I played Icarus today, just the shenaniganator. I am so sorry to everyone for my interrupting cat and partial cat nudity. I will try to find a better way to keep her appeased.
Speak of the devil.
Calm during. Yeah, I'll work on it. You can find me on Twitter at Andersynth, and in Discord at Hyacinth, and Hyacinth on most things. Hyacinth is here on Twitch. I'll be here next week Wednesday for the first game of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, not Storm King, the God King Calls. Got it. Yep, that's it. I think I got it. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Now it's me, Corndog McGraw. You can find me on the internet at Corndog McGraw or Coach Corndog, depending on your internet thing of choice. I play Judo tonight, and then you can find me here again. I think I have a break for a little while. I think I'm not back until Curse of Strahd. I feel like that's a lie. I think I'm definitely here sometime next week, and I just don't have my planner in front of me. I have my notebook. But regardless, I'm here on TPK Roleplay sometimes, and eventually I'll be on Neon Lights Roleplay too. Eventually. But yeah, find us on the internet and join our Discord. It's already been posted. It's up to you now, Chrissy.
Yeah, I just was waiting. I thought for sure there was going to be like a yell out of pain from Hyacinth.
I was muted.
Like, so I wasn't. Yeah, I was like, I think he's going to shout, and I don't want to.
She crit. She went for a double bite and it hurt, and I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You're the one in pain, friend. Yeah, I'm Chrissy. I played Ulta, our kobold swarmkeeper ranger, who's having an identity crisis. Yeah, where can you find me? All over the internet as at Chrissy Crits. Thanks, Kohlrabi, for all your assistance with my branding. Very much appreciated. And yeah, you can find me in our Discord. I will for sure be in the Wrath of Many. I will also be with Proper filming the generational playtest. So I will be in that this weekend. It's kind of based on improv, so if that's what you're into, come check it out. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, and then I'm around for kind of module week, but now only this module because we did end our Beyond the Undergrowth campaign on Tuesday. So unfortunately, that's not going to be a campaign any longer. And yeah, every once in a while you'll see me in random one-shots, hosting random one-shots, and all of the good things. So come join us in Discord.
All right, and I am Dat Magic Juice, as you see it on the screen, on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Much to my demise.
TikTok?
Yeah. This is my main gig with TPK Roleplay. This group has been absolutely fantastic through an absolute logger of a travel-based quarter, we'll say, of a campaign. We are going to open up in 2 weeks because this campaign runs every 2 weeks on this channel. We're going to open up with going into Waterdeep. And if you haven't realized it by now, everything to this point has been a sort of, I don't want to say setup, but a lead-in, we'll say that, lead-in to all of the bigger, deeper, broader plot lines, storylines, conflicts, and character development that is going to come for this campaign. So, in the broadest sense I possibly can, I will say, if you think you know the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, you have not experienced it in the way we're going to deliver. Signing off. We'll see you in 2 weeks.